It is on, the wait is over. We're about ready to drop our first rider. Each rider gets 2 runs on this Red Bull Joyride course. This young man has been riding his whole life for this moment right here. I met him as a youngster, riding mountain bike camps right here on Whistler Mountain. Originally from Calgary, Alberta, now residing in Squamish, BC. Grabbing a 2nd place at the Big White Invitational hosted by Tom Van Steenberg. And I mean, that's no easy task. He was ahead of some big names. Sam Pilgrim finished 4th in that event, just showing how high the level of riding is in slopestyle mountain biking right now. The lone Canadian competitor. Look forward to this crowd absolutely losing their mind. I can't think of any better way to kick off this competition. Max LANGILLE on course.
Here we go, a nollie suicide no-hander off the flat drop. Big flip whip straight into the step down. Let's see what he's got on the 4-pack. First jump up, big Indian Superman C-crab, landing a little low on his pedal. Unfortunately, just not able to have that speed, but this is a long course. He's going to keep that going because you never know what's going to happen with the other riders. Let's get him back up there. Let's get him some speed. It looked like maybe he went a little long, but it's not over.
Love the fact that he's going to keep this run rolling now.
Yeah, this is Joyride. It's his first time, and he's going to use this experience to the fullest to get all the way from the top to the bottom. Nice big 3, straight out of the sphere.
So again, you need the skills from the skateboard.
Picking up his speed back up, going into the log. Nice truck driver, perfectly smooth. And to that quarter pipe. Tuck no-hander to bar, coming in. All right, now he's going to line up to this final feature, this huge Showtime booter into the crowd.
Let's see what he's feature got for Max LANGILLE, and in his first Red Bull Joyride appearance, truck driver to finish things off.
Definitely not what Max wanted, but a solid run from top to bottom. It shows he's got what it takes to be here.
Well, first of all, I want to give Max kudos for keeping this run rolling, but also, Al, let's talk a little bit about the way the speed is flowing into the 4-pack. We saw him land a little bit less than ideal on the first jump. What are the riders saying about the speed into that section?
Yeah, so with the first flat drop and step down, it's downhill the entire time. So when they go into that first left-hander, they have a whole lot of speed, and a lot of riders have more speed than they actually need. So really figuring out how much to brake and getting that braking exactly the way you want it. Let's look at that replay. Maybe we can see what happened. Big, huge flip whip on that. I don't think he could have landed any better. Tons of speed coming out of that. Let's see what he comes into right here on the quad. Big Superman C-crab Indian. Let's keep an eye on his feet. And then you kind of see he drifts down a little bit long, and that's what it was. He sat on the tire. So when he went a little bit long there, he compressed in and sat on his tire, and that's like hitting your brakes, and that's not what you need to come through.
Ideally, he's putting his tires down right there. He was way at the bottom of the landing at that point. Not going to carry enough speed for the second jump. I love the fact that he kept her rolling. You know what? You never know what's going to happen in Joyride. He may not be the only rider with issues. We've seen Joyrides in the past where only a couple riders in run number 1 get a top to bottom without a hitch. So we're starting things off with a 43.8 there for Max LANGILLE. You know the adrenaline's flowing now, and he can't wait to get back up to the start. We will run number 2 in reverse order, so the lowest score will drop first.
Yeah, you see that excitement in his face. He just checked a bucket list thing to do a truck driver into the final drop into the village at Joyride.
You know what? He felt it, and now he wants to taste blood again, but he's going to have to wait for the rest of the 14 riders to drop their runs. A little backstory on Dawid GODZIEK here. Stellar performance in the Crankworx Summer Series, the title slopestyle at Silver Star Bike Park. Can you believe this was just the 4th place run?
I cannot believe this is a 4th place run. The evolution of this sport and what these guys are doing is above and beyond what I could have possibly imagined. David with a super clean run just a couple of weeks ago, so he's riding that momentum high, earning his way into this contest. I expect big things out of him here today.
Dawid GODZIEK grabbing that Joyride wild card from that performance right there. Good enough for a 4th place. Definitely a highlight of the career for this young man. But I'd say just competing in this competition is going to even top that. Dawid GODZIEK dropping in.
Nice nollie to bar spin coming off that front wheel. Big can-can flip in the step down. This is where he's going to have to control his speed into the 4-pack. Bar spin to bar spin backflip. Nice landing. Big double tail. He's keeping it clean. Coming around to this hip option. Let's see which way he decides to go. Nice big 450 truck to table, up onto the sphere. Hand plant, straight back in, bar out, double combo coming in and out of that thing.
Showing the diversity right here. Showing he's got no nerves.
Cruising around, maintaining his speed. He's coming up to this cannon log. What's David got? Big backflip bar spin. That's so hard without the tranny to get your rotation going. Nice big flare, something that we only usually see in BMX vert contests. He's coming around, he's got a solid run. Come on, David, bring it home.
Here we go, David Lieb. First Joyride appearance, a flat drop, flip to finish things off, and he stops it.
What an amazing run.
Way to go, David.
The rotation on that flip was so calm and so chill. That was an amazing run. Heck yeah, David.
Oh, this has got to be the feeling that he is experiencing right now is unlike anything else. Coming into that finish corral at Red Bull Joyride. David Lieb looking to top his Crankworx World Tour best finish of 13th place. Got a solid run here in run number 1.
Taking a look back at that big bar spin to bar spin backflip straight into the double tail whip. Super clean, pedals on, ready to go. Lands at the perfect spot on the landing. Keeping his momentum going, coming around to this hip. Nice 270 truck to table. Coming in, he had a double combo in here.
Yeah, what do you make of this? I think this is gonna score well.
Yeah, with the hand plant and then bar out. That's so difficult to make sure your hands are in the right spot to be able to get that quick bar out. Nice flare out of the quarter pipe. Straight in, back home, bar spin up to this nice casual flip. Look at how slow that rotation was coming in front tire. It's so scary when you do this because you're already at your peak. So you have half as much time to spot your landing, and it's blind, 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 and then you see your landing at the last second. Amazing run out of David.
Well, what will the score be for the American David Lieb? It's going to be a 68. Of course, that puts him in the top spot right now with 13 more riders to go. Well, we kick things off with 2 wildcard entries, and now we're going to roll right into a former Joyride winner. The Belgian rider took the gold here in 2012, and this is how he did it. It was a very, very windy August late afternoon in 2012, and only the tough were going to rise to the top. And this youngster, nobody knew anything about the guy. Now he's got a Red Bull helmet. He's world renowned if you're a fan of slopestyle and freeride mountain biking, but he absolutely blew minds with this run.
Yeah, that's the power of this Joyride. It can make or break a career for sure. And Thomas, back then, he for sure took advantage of every opportunity and brought home the gold medal that day.
Well, just a year before this win, Red Bull helped out by sponsoring this event and bringing it to the next level, elevating the profile and the prestige of the slopestyle here in Whistler at Crankworx. Called it Red Bull Joyride in homage to the original Joyride Festival here in Whistler. But ever since it's been Red Bull Joyride, only 5 winners. Can you believe that? The dominance of Semenuk, the dominance of Nicholi ROGATKIN and Emil Johansson, Thomas GENON, skyrocketing and starting his career 10 years ago. Still here. It's great to see him still here, isn't it?
Yeah, stoked to have Tommy G out here, one of the rider favorites. Some of the best style you'll ever see out on a course. He knows what magic can come out of this boneyard. He's trying to recreate it.
It's true, he had tricks back then, and now he's turned himself into one of the most stylish riders with the tricks. Every rider out there is trying to emulate his extension, his 3 tables. This guy's got the full package. Expect to see him at Red Bull Rampage in October. But right now, it's all about Joyride. Tommy G on course.
Tommy G, fast plant, 360 off the flat drop. Big double tail down the step down, coming into this 4-pack. Oh, he was going for that Tommy G style, big table 3. Followed by a cash roll. Oh, little mishap there, slipped the pedal, but he kept his momentum going. He's gonna be able to keep going, no problem. Another big double tail whip. Tommy G coming up to the sphere. What's it gonna be? Another hand plant. Yes, straight out, gets it, no problem.
Oh, through the rock garden. I like the creative line there. That's a little improv for you, folks.
Kind of a reset mid-course here, an opportunity for him to gather it. Maybe he wants to step it up because he had that slight mistake. Let's see what he's got off the cannon.
Oh, come on! Oh, shoot. Tommy G getting hung up on the 360 tail up off the cannon log.
This is one of the things that makes the cannon log so difficult with the tricks, is it doesn't have the transition where you can actually get the momentum of the rotations going. So it looked like he came around a little front end high. Looks like maybe he's a little woozy, trying to make the right call. The medics are out there. Got to take care of that body, Tommy. We'll have to wait and see. Looks like the medics are checking him out. We got world-class medic staff out here making sure these riders are safe before, during, and after this event. It's never a good sign when you see an athlete stumble when he gets up. You know, it's similar, you know, when you see a quarterback gets hit and he gets up and, you know, he's trying to play, he's trying to finish that play and try to get to that end zone. But in this case, Tommy G's trying to get to the bottom of the course, and maybe it's just not meant to be. So here's that big table 3. It looks like he didn't quite get it cranked and then managed to get it in anyways. What do you got here, Cam, on this?
I thought he was going to throw it away right here with the cash roll. It was a little bit under-rotated. He had to drop a foot, but I was really stoked to see him kind of save that one. And then we had the little bit of a mishap out of the dish. Let's see if we can see from this angle. There's 2 ideal landing areas coming out of the dish. He went right between the both of them after getting that nice topside hand plant. Had to go through the rocks a little bit. But where things went wrong was on the cannon, the 360 tail up. It looked like he got a little bit hung up, wasn't able to get on top of the bike and finish the rotation. So that's a bummer to see. Thomas GENON is such a consistent rider. You don't see him go down very often, but 360 tail up on a cannon during Red Bull Joyride is definitely a heavy maneuver. Here's a look back.
Yeah, look at the front end, just a little bit high coming around, a little under-rotated. Oh yeah, he did take a pretty decent slam on that shoulder and head. Here's a different angle here. Yeah, so he needed to be front tire down to really angle it in, and he just couldn't get his feet on. He just went straight to the side there. Yeah, it doesn't look like he was completely knocked out, but for sure rung his bell.
So great to see Thomas GENON pop up on his own. That's just the way she goes sometimes, Tommy G. What a bummer, but great to see him relatively all right as we take a peek back up at the top of the course. It is going to be a guy not on the alternate list for once. So excited to see this from Tom ISTED.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see what he can pull off. He's known he's been in this contest. He's been the alternate all through the year, but he came here knowing that he was in the contest. He's got plans. He knows what he's going to execute, so I'm looking forward to seeing a really sick run out of Tom here.
Well, he has earned this entry into Joyride. He's been charging on the World Tour. Best result, a 6th place. Looking to better that here now.
Keeping it consistent with a 3 on the drop and a nice flip on that step down.
Oh,
big cash roll. Is he going to have enough speed to get over, Cam?
Oh, come on.
Okay, he's up on the jump.
Oh, it's going to be one of these, isn't it?
He's still moving.
All right. Red Bull Joyride, man. It's
big corked out flip on the hip. Let's see what he's going to do. Oh, there's an interesting option.
Holds it together.
Bit of a flat spin flip across the landings of that sphere. Off the cannon, smooth 3. At this point, he's probably just trying to get to the bottom, shake out the bugs. Huge!
Up close to that 15-foot mark on the
Notice he did not go into the dirt. That's extra difficulty. The judges are going to be paying attention to that.
What?
Corked backflip off the drop. Unbelievably smooth. I don't know if I've seen that before. That was amazing. Going back to that quarter pipe, notice he went up the wood and back down the wood. The judges, I was talking to them a little earlier, that will definitely boost the difficulty and his score.
Dan, that was the way to finish that run right there, to put that kind of pizzazz on a flat drop flip. I definitely want to get another look at that. We're going to start at the top. And you know what I'm feeling right now? This is one of these crazy Red Bull Joyrides where the pressure, the crowd, the elements all play a part. They are the 16th rider on the list. They're playing defense right now, and the riders who are consistent are going to be the ones who get their names etched in the history book. He had so many issues in this run, but he persevered. Here's a great example.
Yeah, this is where some of the magic can happen, can it, Cam? You know, I mean, you've been in these contests before. When you make that mistake on those first runs, the pressure sort of falls away. And then the next run, you really have that opportunity to just put what you have out there.
Here's the final drop. Now, let me see. Did he just come off so corked, or did he fast plant into this? Here we go. Oh, he just came off so corked. I love that. Tom ISTED is a guy who's done a double barrel roll on a bike off of a normal jump, and he put some really barrel roll style on that flat drop flip.
Look at how amazingly perfect this landing is. Both tires at the same time at the absolute perfect spot of the landing. That couldn't have been executed any better.
I mean, we've seen flat drop variations, huge ones like Brett Reeder's backflip, tail and flat drop, but I think that's the most stylish flat drop flip I've seen. That's right, Tom ISTED. Looking forward to run number 2. Fix some mistakes.
I got to run in. That's what people want to do. That's when the pressure of the event falls away, because that's the ultimate goal for all these riders, to get a top to bottom. Even though that wasn't what he wanted, he's checked that off the list. A little bit of the pressure could come off, and now he's really going to be able to let it loose and run 2.
Well, when you're a rider with a ton of experience like Jakub VENCL here, rocking the heavy metal shirt, of course, representing Airborne today. I'm sure he'll change to a different shirt and run number 2. But when you're a veteran in slopestyle, you see people having mistakes in your run, you go, all right, this smells like opportunity. Jakub VENCL, oldest rider in the field at 32 years of age. He has 2 fifths on the Crankworx World Tour. Those are his best results. Let's see if he can crack better than top 5 here today.
Nice 3 in off the flat drop to a big tuck no-handed 3. Tuck no-handed backflip. Oh, and a big double backflip.
Yes.
Oh, and no. Getting landed a little low.
Wow. What a crazy day already.
The crowd loves it. Everybody loves a double backflip. Yeah, my mistake there. That was a tuck no-handed backflip on the step down. Not a 3, but looked like he came in with a little bit too much speed. Given that ramp, his opinion of what happened there. I just had number 1.
I just had to take my headset off while they were cheering, because that is just so loud. There's so much energy on this hillside. And which riders are going to be able to harness that energy to their advantage? Jakub VENCL soaking it up.
Yeah, the crowd's electric, to say the least.
All right, Jakub VENCL, knowing that a lot of riders had issues, it looks like he's going to finish this run off, maybe try to get a couple more points.
Yeah, he's just going to ride himself down on the course. This is an opportunity to sort of erase that mistake in his mind. You know, it's all about momentum. And if you kind of have that crash and you just walk up to the top, that's that last thing that happened. What he's doing right now is he's erasing that mistake from his mind. He's getting that flow. He's getting the crowd on his side. We're definitely going to see that double backflip in the next run, and I would imagine we're going to see him pull it.
So Tyler, in a situation like this, where obviously every rider wants to stomp their run, but very few of them are they scoring this right now, even though he's kind of doing it for the fans? If every rider crashes, it's got to still be the rider with the best run, right?
They are for sure scoring it, and they have to slot these riders because you don't know what can happen. And these judges are still trying to get their what they would call anchor scores, where they slot riders up and below, so they have to leave room. David LIEB being a 68, not necessarily a bad score, because a score in the 60s could potentially win if we keep seeing stuff like this. But I think the energy of Joyride is just getting to these riders. We saw them completing perfectly dialed practice runs, but it's just harder to get everything dialed when you see the crowd, everybody screaming, just so much pressure here at Joyride.
Thank you, Tyler. You said it, man. It's insane out there, and the judges just trying to get that anchor score. David LIEB, the only rider to provide something to give them any insight into where that foundation of the scoring system will be today. That top score to beat right now, a 68.
I think so.
Yeah, we've seen a couple riders go long on the first jump there of the 4-pack. Sometimes the stoke can win, Cam. I remember back my very first dirt jump contest ever when you had to pedal into the jumps. The first 3 runs of my life, I overjumped the first jump because I was so stoked. And some of that's here, and those nerves are going to calm down, and we're going to look at these riders to clean these things up for sure.
You get some superhuman abilities that you didn't know you had when you get energy from a crowd like this. And sometimes patience is what you need, especially coming into a jump that requires braking. Also considering he was going for a double backflip, a trick that you don't want to brake too much for.
Yeah, for sure, it's a fine line.
Waiting for the score now for Jakub VENCL. The score to beat currently held by Dawid LIEB. LIEB from the USA, 68 being that score to beat right now. We got a little picture-in-picture view of our esteemed judging panel, top right corner. So there's the score for Jakub VENCL, 44.2, good enough for fourth right now. It'll be really interesting to take a look at these runs that weren't stomped and really kind of, you know, see if we agree with the judges and where they're sticking them. But we have 10 riders left to go, and we're getting into the meaty end of the order. I have a feeling we're going to see a whole lot of stomped runs coming up right now, but this is definitely the opposite of boring out here at Red Bull Joyride 2022. Paul COUDERC in the gate, the next rider to drop. He had a fourth in Innsbruck 2019. That was his best Crankworx result. He's looking to get onto that podium today.
Well, he's going to start off with a fast plant 360 off the drop. Big bar backflip down the step down. So he's going to have to control his speed. Big double backflip.
There it is.
Taking a little lesson out of into a 720. Oh, man, we got double rotations back to back. Let's see if he can keep this going. Come on, Paul. Big 360. Oh, that's a 450 tail whip on the hip there. Up in the sphere, bar out, keeping it smooth.
Time to catch up breath here.
Okay, at this point he's done everything he wants to do. He needs to keep it together.
Because the second half of the course is where they can start paying some bills.
Coming around to the cannon.
All their tricks.
Oh, big backflip, tail whip. Such a slow rotation.
Come on, Paul, hold it together.
Getting a styly trick out there. Big toboggan on the quarter pipe. He's coming in, he wants to bring this thing home. Let's see what he's got, people.
Paul COUDERC, the score to beat a 68. One last feature, bar spin up, and a double bar spin down. Paul COUDERC with an absolutely stellar run.
The difficulty of a double bar spin off a flat drop, you do not have the momentum of the ramp that brings the bike to float underneath you. You have to pop, and you're just hoping you can get those bars around before you land. What an amazing run out of Paul. I think we might be looking at a big score here.
Oh, I think we're going to see a score that's going to shake things up here and maybe serve as that baseline score. Paul COUDERC double flipping, backflip, tail whipping the cannon. We've got a lot to talk about here once we get to our replays.
Now this may be the highlight, a double backflip on the first of the four pack. And what does he do on the next one? He backs it up with a 720. So much style, such a perfect rotation.
2 jumps, 4 complete rotations. Ridiculous.
We see him here on the sphere, going around, getting inverted, able to get the bar spin out. Everything matters here on the Joyride course.
Okay, so here's one of the biggest moves of the run right here, this backflip tail up on the cannon. Talk to me about this.
You see how early he started pulling, about halfway up. There's no transition that will get that rotation going. He has to generate all of that momentum for that backflip with his arms and his upper body, and he's kicking a tail whip at the same time. It's unbelievable.
So, talk to me about this double bar spin. We see a lot of double trucks off of step downs and flat drops, which is incredibly difficult, but I feel like it's so hard to do a straight double bar off of a flat drop, especially in the wind.
Yeah, it's just a pinch and pray situation for Paul right there. He just, a little bit of a hop off the end, pinches the seat with his knees, and was able to have enough time to get the bars to go around twice. Such an amazing run.
Pinch and pray.
There we go, we got a new leader, Cam.
Paul COUDERC into the lead with a 77.6, the new score to beat. So stoked for this guy. Looking to get onto that Crankworx slopestyle podium. He's been so close. Fourth in Innsbruck in 2019. Will that run be enough to do it? We got a whole lot more riders coming.
The prestige of this event is coming out, not only in the riders, the way they're riding, but I'm gonna have to comment on their outfits. The costumes they have, the special bike paint. You can feel how special this event is to these riders just by the way they're showing up.
Everything matching. Well, the riders have the bikes for it, the kits for it, and then the course. You know, you gotta have the house ready for the party guests to show up. Alan, give us a little bit more insight onto this course. You were walking it earlier. Let's check out what you cooked up.
What's up, everybody? I'm Alan Cook. I'm here in beautiful Whistler, BC for the 10th edition of Joyride. This year, we've got an all-new course with features that have never been seen before in the Boneyard. Let's take a closer look and we'll get an idea of what kind of tricks can be done and who's going to be doing what. So on this year's Joyride course, the first feature is going to be a flat drop. What those riders are going to do is come off this plank and drop straight flat into the ground. Let's get into what kind of tricks you might be able to see off this feature. One of the most impressive tricks that the flat drop offers is the half cab. What's a half cab? Is when you actually do a 180 before you go off the drop, and the only way out is to do another 180 from backwards to forwards straight into the Joyride course. So here we are about a third of the way down the course where the riders are going to have an option on this hip. They're going to have the option to go left or right. This will give them the opportunity to up the ante and throw some opposite spins. Every rider has a natural way to turn. Could be clockwise, could be counterclockwise. Everything goes. 360s, bar spins, tail whips. How do you get more points? You spin it the other way. The technicality goes through the roof when doing opposite tricks. And to get an idea what it's like to do an opposite trick, why don't you just try brushing your teeth with your opposite hand and see how it feels. So what do we got behind me? We're not really sure. We've never seen it on the course before. So we can't even tell you what kind of tricks to expect, but definitely keep your eyes on this feature. So there's an insider look at the features that this year's course is going to offer, who's going to be doing what. I can tell you one thing, everybody's going to be throwing down. This course is amazing. I'm super excited to get this thing started. I hope you enjoy the show.
Well, that last feature you were standing on at the end of that piece right there is definitely something we are going to be talking about when we get further into this order. We got one rider who's definitely thinking outside the box on this feature. All the fans here know what I'm talking about. We'll get to that in a little bit. Right now, Torquato TESTA, top of the course. This guy's had a second place, but it was all the way back in 2017 in New Zealand. His riding level is on point. Let's see if this can be his day.
Nice smooth truck driver in. The no-foot can backflip on the step down. Haven't seen that before. Straight into a nice cork 7, landing a little low. Again, another situation where the riders have just a little too much speed.
You know what? If you're a rider up there who hasn't taken your run yet, it's just like you can't help but only think about that first jump in the 4-pack now, seeing how many victims it's claiming.
Yeah, it's so tough, Cam, with the excitement here, with other riders dropping huge bombs on the course. The crowd is into it. It's so hard to just ease up in any way, shape, or form because you want to give it everything you have. So to be able to need to break into those turns, it's so precise.
Well, Paul COUDERC is the rider to beat right now with a 77.6. Issues in the run right now for Torquato TESTA. He's not going to take out that 77.6, but with plenty of riders messing up in the field today on run number 1, he still may slot into a respectable position if he sprinkles some more tricks.
It's not always about the most speed. It's about
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about this course being downhill. You know, it's not ever over. When you make a mistake, you can just get back on a landing of another jump and keep it going. See Torquato TESTA just kind of like shaking out the cobwebs from that mistake. Getting his rhythm back, bar up, straight flip off. Looks like he had a little more than he wanted. So he's thinking ahead right there, okay? That's the warm-up. See if you can guess what he's gonna do off that drop on the next run.
A little free preview for you. Torquato TESTA taking this throwaway run as a little opportunity for some practice. Here's where it went wrong, Alan.
Yeah, this big cork 7, landing a little over-rotated, but mostly he landed a little low and was not able to have enough momentum to hit that next jump, so pulled off to the side.
Time to tighten up that visor. Torquato TESTA, we're waiting for the score, because if you think about it, he just needs to beat a 58.2 to slot into top 3 position. 37. It's going to be 7th place for Torquato TESTA right now, a.k.a. last place as our 8th rider to drop is loading up in the gate. This guy's tasted glory with a 3rd place Joyride right here on this very slope. I'm sure plenty of the same people who cheered him on in 2016 are out there again. Max Fredriksson all the way from Sweden on course.
Let's see what Max got. Nollie 360 off the drop. Bar to bar, truck down the step down, coming into the 4-pack.
Nice.
Double bar backflip to no-hander, keeping his momentum going. Truck to tail.
Max.
Here we go. We got ourselves a run on the course. Big flip whip on the hip. That's so difficult on that hip. Coming into the sphere. Bar up. 1, 2, 3 tricks on the sphere. Making the most of his time in there.
3 different tricks on one feature. The judges.
All right, he's coming down to the cannon. Let's see what he's got.
For that. Into the cannon.
Big tough no-handed 3, keeping that momentum into the quarter pipe. Tail whip air. All right, here we go, coming back into the village. What's it gonna be?
Time for Max Fredriksson to put a cap on this run. Will it be an exclamation point? Truck driver down to finish things off. Huge run for Max Fredriksson.
Solid run. He had a nice little nollie to bar up. That was the first time we saw that on that final feature. So this course, you know, it's delivering. It's giving these riders the opportunity to really show their bag of tricks, show a little bit of their personality out there. It's everything that we expected, isn't it, Cam?
Man, those setups in between the features where you have those long setups in the berms and rollers, so much opportunity to either get overexcited or nervous. Max Fredriksson, big issues in Innsbruck, having a heavy crash. It's great to see him back healthy. This guy trains harder than anyone. He's in the gym 6 days a week at the training facilities they have in Sweden, balancing everything you need to do to be at the top of this game. What a run.
And here we see him maximizing his time in the sphere. Trick up, trick in, and trick out. Motoring that boat all the way down to the bottom. Smooth as can be.
Just little things like if he were to have missed the extension on that 360 tuck, the judges definitely would have been docking. But the fact that he really was, I mean, a tiny little pedal slip there was pretty minimal, but he was pretty much flawless on this run.
Yes, super solid run out of Max. You could see he was not being affected by the nerves. Huge truck straight into the village.
So Tyler, everything from having a respectable combo on every single feature to, you know, fitting 3 tricks into the sphere, do you think this run is going to have what it takes to move into that top spot?
So I think the big standouts for me and what the standouts are for the judges were technicality. There's different approaches in slopestyle these days with the big crowd pleasers, big rotations, and then there's the technicality, which is almost a different approach. Max doing the flip, backflip, bar spin to bar spin and tuck no hander, and the bar spin in, unturned down, tuck no hander out. It's hard to even say because I can't process it that fast. But those are the things the judges are looking for, just how much he actually packs into a run.
Thank you, Tyler. So much technicality in that run. What will the score be for Max Fredriksson? The score to beat a 77.6. It's going to be a 79.6. You got a new leader here, Whistler. Oh, it's great to see
good.
all that hard work. This kid, I'm telling you, I've hung out with him in Sweden. I've seen his training program, and I've seen him rehabbing from so many injuries. It is great to see him put down a run under these circumstances when so many riders are having issues out here today. Well, a rider who is very much peaking in the sport of slopestyle right now on an upward trajectory, keeps getting better and more consistent every single event. Lucas Huppert kicked off the 2022 season with a 5th in Innsbruck.
Yeah, Lucas on an upward trajectory of his results, looking to keep that momentum going. Here we go, he's gonna drop in. Big truck in, followed by a double tail whip. Okay, now it's time to make sure that speed's right, Lucas. What do you got?
Come on, come on.
Big backflip tail whip. Straight into a front flip. Triple bar spin cam.
Was that a double or a triple? What was that? Come on. Oh,
downside tail whip.
Back
on
flip,
the hip.
opposite. Tail whip on that hip. Oh, rolled out and downside. Yes.
Down the toilet bowl, nice bar spin out. Okay, here we go,
Come
Lucas.
on, Hoopy.
Let's see what he's got off the cannon. Yesterday said this is the last thing he needed to work out. Big toboggan to skis on that thing.
So much style.
540 double bar spin. Let's bring it home, Lucas. What do you got? He's gonna bar up into a three-whip down, Lucas!
Oh man, going for the 360 tail whip off the flat drop. Huppert absolutely going for the jugular.
I think he's okay. I think the boys downstairs got a little rattled. He's just gonna let him settle down. Three-whip off a flat drop. I cannot explain how hard that is. You have to generate the momentum for the 360 and the tail whip with all of your muscle because there's no transition to build that momentum up. Let's hope he's okay and see if we can get him back for that second run. That was an amazing run.
Man, we've seen this happen so many times here on this boneyard slopestyle course. A banger run and then the wheels fall off on the final feature.
Well, the crowd's giving it the respect that is due. It looked like the tail whip just sort of dropped out a little bit from him at the end, and his feet were sort of floating over the pedals as he was coming in, and just wasn't able to hold on to it. But let's see some of the highlights here, Cam.
All right, what I really want to look at, a couple things. The amplitude on the first jump in the four-pack here, feeding him all the speed and the momentum needed for that front flip bar spin combo on the second jump. Let's count how many bar spins he got here on the second jump in the four-pack.
All right, let's see what we got. We got 1, 2, and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a triple bar spin front flip. I've never even seen that before. 1, 2, 3.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
Unbelievable. The hardest part about any front flip trip is it's completely blind. The only thing you can see is your stomach. So to have the wherewithal where he was in that rotation on that jump and be able to spin those bars completely blows my mind. So here we are at the end here. Let's see what ends up happening. Yeah, you see that tail just sort of lost a little bit of momentum and dropped out. And when he actually landed, his feet were not quite on the pedals, reaching for him and wasn't able to hold on.
I mean, Lucas Huppert and Thomas GENON showing us how difficult it is to do a 360 tail up on a step down feature, whether that be a flat drop like we just saw Hoopy do or a cannon like we saw from GENON. Similar thing happening in both of them, the bike kind of just floating away. But the highlight from that run is, without a doubt, that front flip triple bar spin. I was in disbelief. You said triple. I'm like, that can't be right.
I know, usually I'll call it triple and then it's actually an XF because I get too excited, but that was 3 bar spins during that front flip. I couldn't believe it.
Ridiculous. And in run number 1, too. You know, typically at a slopestyle contest, you see a safety run. Whoa, 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 here we go. Okay, so talked about that last feature. I kind of alluded to something exciting that you may be able to look for. Well, Tomas Lemoine in practice. Take a look at this shot we got. He was sizing this up and then he went for it. Boom! A la Timo Pritzel, went to gap the entire final on-off box. Got caught in a little wind, but I feel like he would have stomped it even though he was landing low if he wasn't getting kicked out for that wind.
I think I'm going to try again in the run, probably.
How's the wrist?
We work for today, I guess.
Oh, talk to the doctor. Have him strap you up.
Man, just carrying on the tradition of just the gladiator mindset when you're here at Red Bull Joyride. This is the run I am most excited about because we're finally seeing in slopestyle some out-of-the-box thinking. You know, the tricks have carried the action, but right now he's looking at this feature unlike anybody else. Let's see if he does it. Well, kicking things off in a creative way. Manual to bar spin.
One thing you can guarantee Thomas is going to do is he's going to do it different. Let's see what he's got in this 4-pack.
Big! Oh my God, he's long.
Backflip. Come on, Thomas.
How does he hold on?
Bar spin and tuck, manages to get a double trick off. See what he's got on these hips. Double 360.
Yes! No way!
450 whip.
I thought he was throwing it away.
Alley-oop backs up out of the sphere.
Regroup.
Now just breathe in, sigh of relief. Again,
One of the most talented athletes out here on the Crankworx World Tour, racing, stunting, doing it all. What's he got off the cannon? Big backflip tuck no-hander. Okay, up onto the quarter pipe. And if you're not standing up in your living room right now, I suggest standing up. Here we
speed,
Thomas.
using those
You
pump
got
track
this.
skills. Come on, Tomas Lemoine. Boom, boom, yeah!
Oh my God!
It's going nuts!
The Whistler Valley just exploded with Tomas Lemoine absolutely hugging the final feature. I cannot explain to you how difficult that is. That is blind times 2. I wouldn't be surprised if he just went to the GLC and got some poutine and called it a day. That was amazing.
Oh, man. Oh, I love it. You know what? That's what slopestyle is all about right there.
He mentioned in his interview when he got gold in speed and style the other day that this joyride is why he started riding. It gives him the most adrenaline, it gives him the most energy, and he just lit this valley up.
Oh, they're hearing these screams in Pemberton and Squamish. This is one of the most iconic moments we've seen in Red Bull Joyride history. What a maneuver, man. Evel Knievel.
Oh man, and he went long too and held on to it.
What did we say, Alan? We said if he's going to land that, he's going to have to go big. The margin of error there is so small. Tomas Lemoine, you know what? You got me freaking out up here, man. I've never heard a crowd so loud as what we just heard here. Talk me through practicing that before the event and then what it was like to just absolutely go for it right there.
Man, first day I came here, I saw that thing and I really wanted to do it. I thought it was possible. I didn't ride it a lot during the week because of the other events and it was closed a lot. And today I was like, I want to try once before the contest. I crashed and I was like, now if I arrive until here in my run, anything happens, I'm gonna try again and try to hold on. I knew I was gonna go far again, but I don't want to case that shit.
That was insane. The crowd getting a look at that replay right now. An absolutely standing ovation for you, Tomas Lemoine. You just gave the people what they wanted. That moment's going to go down in history. Thank you for the show, my man.
Thank you, man.
Oh, look, I mean, if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Lemoine. He can carry more speed than anybody through a roller section like that. Wow, look how far he landed down here.
Yeah, what he was talking about is he knew he was going to go long because he didn't want to case. It's completely blind, that ledge where the SRAM is, and if you hit that, it's game over.
He's just bringing back some of that original energy from the birth of slopestyle on this course here, where Timo Pritzl used to always look at the on-off boxes as a double and just skip the middleman. So Tomas Lemoine skips right to the top, right there, 86.2. You got a new leader.
As he takes on a feature
oh man.
that's supposed to be 2 features, turns it into 1 and sends the
Yep, Red Bull Joyride just kind of brings something different out in these riders. Tomas Lemoine, the new rider to beat. As we take a look at who's up next. This guy is on a tear, whether it be a mountain bike or a BMX bike. He hasn't lost in quite a while. Let's take a look back at some of these accolades from the past just couple months.
Yeah, he's on a roll for sure, and he's looking to carry that momentum through. It's funny how that works, you know, you just build up that momentum and it just starts feeling a little bit easier to win, but I guarantee you this, he just felt that energy from the crowd. He's hyped up, he's ready to give it everything he's got.
This is the recipe right here. I'm just so happy for this sport. We've got the guy who just won the X Games BMX Dirt gold medal, and he's one of our own here, but still hasn't won a Crankworx World Tour slopestyle stop. Let's see if he can keep this energy rolling, harness what the atmosphere is giving him on the Whistler Boneyard.
This will be action-packed from top to bottom. I don't expect any dead airs or any jumps where he's only doing one trick. He's going to leave everything out there on this course.
Oh man, this is going to be worth the wait right here. The tricks that he's kind of transitioned from being the showstoppers to being ones that he can put in consistently to every run. this 4-pack is going to come up so quick as soon as he drops in, and I know he's going to have some goods for us. All the way from Poland, the brother to Simon Godziek, another top slopestyle athlete. Here we go. Maybe that's what's been working for him the past 4 events. There we go. David Godziek making the call to drop in. Yes!
We got a half cab straight out of the gate into a 3-whip. Oh, we got a flat tire.
No! Oh, man, after all that, to have a mechanical cause this run to come to a screeching halt. Oh, man, thank goodness he's got another run. We're going to put a new tube in that tire there and get him back to the top of the course.
So let's take a look at this first flat drop. He did a half cab. We talked about that half cab, but something very unique is in the history when people have done half cabs. Semnuk's done them, Reeder's done them, they've had free coasters. Watch his pedals. He has to back pedal before he hops and commits and throws the bars. Straight into this 3-whip. Let's see if we can see what happened with his tire here. Just a little over-rotated and all that force was too much. But the fact that he did that half cab to bar without a free coaster and had to do the back pedal, the precision with the pedals and where they need to be is, I mean, there's not a word for how hard that is.
Yeah, the timing. You gotta decide to do that hop 180 at the right time so that when you're half cabbing, not only you're exiting the drop at the right time, but your cranks are lined up so you can land with your natural foot forward. Oh, baby. Nicholi ROGATKIN.
All the hairs on my arms just stood up.
For good reason. Nicholi ROGATKIN. Let's flash back all the way to 2018. This man is a rider for the people, and he loves the energy this crowd gives him. In 2018, he put down an absolute heater with all the pressure on. The only rider out there with the pressure of the Triple Crown. We had seen riders get close to the Triple Crown before, but until this moment, it was thought to be more of a curse of the Triple Crown rather than something that was actually attainable. Super well-rounded run, but the thing that I remember about this is how he finished it. And that's what you gotta do out here, is you gotta have such a hard-hitting move and risk it all at the end.
Definitely, and here it was, a double tail whip off the flat drop. We talked about how hard it is to create the momentum for those spins, and he was able to bring it home. Look at that right there. You know he's thinking Stanley Cup. You know he's raising that trophy.
Well, you know we're into the meat of the order here when Nicholi ROGATKIN is in the gate. Just 4 more riders to go. In run number 1.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Tail with the drop in.
Oh!
Come on, Nicholi, keep it on the track, buddy.
There's speed to be burned there. Oh, come on.
Okay, he's got it back on course. Straight into the twister.
No way.
How did he do that? How did he recover from that mistake?
Where is he finding the speed?
Big triple tail whip on the hip.
Right to pedals.
Coming into the sphere, what's it gonna be? Big tuck no-hander out. Coming down to the cannon. I got a feeling about this one, it's gonna be big, Cam. Big Cashy off the log.
No, he got air in his tire still.
Looks like we got another flat tire, unfortunately.
Come on! We can put a man on the moon, but we can't keep air in these tires.
Nicholi feeling the crowd for sure. To put in this perspective, maybe why some of these athletes are getting flat tires, these are the biggest jumps that they ride. They're going faster than they go on any other course, bigger than they go on any other course, and the precision in which they have to land for their bikes to legitimately just be able to handle the force has to be perfect.
Well, talk about how you have to set up your bike to even be able to carry speed through a course like this as well.
Yes, super high pressure in these tires. Some of these riders probably running upwards of 80, 90 PSI. So this is where he had the little bit of an issue. He overjumped, he was able to recover. That's pure veteran skills right there. Not everybody would have been able to do that. And managed to get over this jump and straight back into it like nothing had happened. Straight into the twister, a trick that very few riders are even able to do. and he's doing it while recovering. Triple downside tail whip on the hip. Anytime you're doing 3 or 4 tricks at the same time, and then here was off the log, the big cashy. That's a cash roll off the log, lands a little back tire, and then you see it right there.
So here's the tough part, is if you're gonna be doing things like triple tail whips and cork 720s on step downs, you need to set your bike up light so it doesn't have so much rotational inertia. But if you set your bike up too light, you have light, thin sidewall tires, you run the risk of doing this. It's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because you need to set your bike up specifically to be able to make it through this course and do these tricks. You can't just throw a downhill tire with a stiff casing on a slopestyle bike.
I love that Nicholi, even though he had no air in his tire, he still tried to do something on the quarter pipe. If he would have not fallen on the quarter pipe, I think he might have rode all the way in to try to keep his run going.
Oh, for sure.
You cannot hold this man down.
So Nicholi ROGATKIN sets his sights on run number 2. This is one of those days that we are very grateful. We get 2 runs. 3 riders to go. Run number 1 of Red Bull Joyride 2022. And the next rider in the gate is none other than Tim Bringer.
Number 1 here.
We caught up with Tim earlier. Here's what he had to say.
I'm excited. Like, I'm not so nervous during like competition, so I just try my best and I do what I can do. So I'm just like so happy to be here and can't wait to try.
Tim Bringer finished off the 2021 season 1 step off the top of the podium, a 2nd place in Rotorua, New Zealand. Tim Bringer, one of the most powerful riders in the field.
You heard him say in that interview, he's just happy to be here, and sometimes that's the most dangerous. When you're just happy to be in the moment, and you're checking life boxes off the list, it kind of takes that pressure away a little bit. Let's see what he's got.
Tim Bringer on course.
Big truck on the drop. Straight into a double backflip. Oh my gosh, here we go.
There we go, it's right.
Big double tail whip backflip. Straight into a cash roll. Okay, here we go. We got a solid run going.
Tim Bringer's on a good one.
Coming into these hips. 270 tail whip to bar spin. Perfect execution. Bar up. Tail whip out, okay.
There's that power.
Variation in the sphere there.
Looks so calm, so relaxed. Everything going Tim's way right now. Let's bring it out to the cannon log and see what he's got.
Cannon log, Whistler.
Big backflip tail whip. So much strength to be able to pull that off. Huge flare. Not something we usually get to see on the Red Bull Joyride courses, but we're stoked to have it.
Tim Bringer is on one now. Here we go.
Bar up, backy down. Yes.
Perfect.
Solid run out of Bringer. I think you could say he brought it.
It has been brought, that is for sure. Wow. France killing it out there today. The country with the most riders in this field of 15. 3 riders representing France. One of them in the top spot right now. Scored a beat from Tomas Lemoine at 86.2. Let's take a look back at this run from Bringer.
This right here was electric.
Jeez,
Huge
I almost forgot about that.
Double backflip on the step down, straight out of the gate into this double tail whip backflip.
Caught so early.
All that power, he was a little low on it, but all that power he was able to push through and still pull off this cash roll and keep his run going. Look at that power. You see him just yank on the bars to get that momentum going and still manages to kick that tail whip around. And then here we go into the village. Just a casual lean backflip off a 27-foot tall drop.
Man, it makes me wish that Lucas Hooper just did that too, but second runs are gonna heat up so much, and there's still FEDKO and Johansson to go. You gotta pull out all the stops. Some highlights from that run gotta be the double flip on the step down. We weren't expecting that. The flip whip on the cannon. Will it be enough to knock Lemoine out of the top spot? It does! We are into the 90s. 91 for Tim Bringer.
There we go. With these runs being scored as an overall score from top to bottom, being able to start off with that double backflip really sets the tone and keeps that energy high. and he was able to keep that momentum flowing from top to bottom, and the judges are rewarding him for that for sure.
Tyler, I mean, probably one of the biggest moments we've seen when Lemoine gapped that final feature, but Bringer with a ridiculous run. What do you think it was about his run that was enough to knock Lemoine out of the lead?
So I think that was the first run we saw that was a full package. Trick difficulty and execution were completely on point. Amplitude up top with that double backflip off the first step down, and he even got some technicality in with the bar spin in, tail up out of the sphere. So that had everything he needed, and I know there's more he can cram in there because we saw him doing some stuff in practice. So not even a safety run, but our first score in the 90s and first full pull.
Thank you, Tyler. I think he's right. This is the turning point of the event. We kick things off a little bit rusty, but after this run here from Bringer, you know, we've got FEDKO and Johansson to go, and we've just turned things around right now. You cannot have any mistakes in your run and win this contest. It is official.
Yeah, it's got to be perfect from top to bottom. Tyler hitting all those points there. Amplitude, the difficulty, the technicality, how precise he was in all the landings. That was as close to perfect as you can get.
So, the new score to beat, a 91, as we load up Erik FEDKO into the gate. A guy who's got 2 second places in his Crankworx slopestyle career. He's rocking the RockShox Pike right there, 174 PSI. He's got that compression absolutely locked out for the low and high speed, knowing that he needs to pump speed for these features. This kid is the embodiment of precision and style when he takes to a slopestyle course.
Here we go, Cam. This is going to be good.
Erik FEDKO Whistler.
Oppo 360. Big foot whip. When we say Oppo, that was his opposite spinning rotation on that drop into the 4-pack. Big truck to tail whip. Straight into a nice.
Oh, no way!
Wow. 360 tail whip to downside tail whip. Unbelievable.
There it is.
Seat grab, 270.
Signature maneuver.
Alley-oop. Was that a toboggan? Yeah, alley-oop toboggan out of the sphere. This is going to be good. Coming down to the cannon.
Rollers between the features. Let the riders come in way like the front track. No coming at that cannon.
Huge whip. A flare on the quarter pipe. Now he went out of the wood and back into the wood. We know the judges are going to be looking for that and scoring a little higher. What's he got into the final village drop?
FEDKO, bar spin up, truck to X down. What a run. Will it be enough to beat the 91?
FEDKO, cool as a cucumber. You know, every once in a while these riders come along in these sports and they have so much style and so much grace with the way they ride. When they do good, everybody does good because it makes the sport look so awesome. Take that bow, FEDKO. You've earned it.
What a run from FEDKO. That is just classic FEDKO, making every trick look so good. Then as soon as you think you know what he's doing, he crams in another variation. That 360 windshield wiper on the second jump of the 4-pack was so clutch.
Here's that truck to tail up. That's a 360 and a bar spin and a toe up. But this is what you were talking about, Cam, right here. Walk us through it.
360 tail up, stops the bike. He's not getting on. He's gonna send it for another trip around the opposite direction, puts those feet straight to the pedals. And then that's an Erik FEDKO trademark maneuver right there. The overspun 360 seat grab Indian air. And now the level of difficulty on the cannon doing the 360 downside whip. And Tyler, how much higher is it gonna score flaring back into the quarter pipe rather than going to those dirt lips?
I actually talked to the judges about that earlier, and they said they're definitely going to weigh heavier on that. It's harder to land into a transition that's so steep, so a bit safer landing into the wedge dirt that's not as steep. So that and the opposite tricks he crammed in there, technicality, lots of things play into the overall impression. Style is a big one of those, and FEDKO's full of it.
That's right, Tyler. He checked a lot of boxes. He finished strong with that 360 bar spin to X up, but will it be enough to knock Tim Bringer out of the lead? The score to beat a 91. Here we go, an 88.6 into second place for Erik FEDKO. His soon as I saw that number 2, I'm thinking the double flip on the step down. You know, that's the level of just risk that Bringer brought to his run, and that backflip double tail as well. So FEDKO, a rider who checked a lot of boxes in that run, he has another opportunity to try to improve upon that.
But more importantly than the score at this point of the contest, I would say, is the fact that he got a solid top to bottom run. That's momentum. It's something to build on. Now he's going back up the top and thinking, well, I can do this here, I can add that here, I can add that there. Where some of the riders that might have had a couple of the mistakes, they're kind of like back to square one, like, well, I need to get that run out, or do I risk it for everything that there is and just go for the hardest things I have? So FEDKO's in a really good spot, but he also has this guy behind him.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, did we forget about this guy? Okay, let's talk about this guy. His name is Emil Johansson, and this is his rap sheet right here. Count them, 7. And not just 7 wins on the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour, 7 wins in a row. He has not lost since he started winning. The last score was a 98 in Innsbruck to kick off this 2022 season. This man has been leading with an iron fist, and he is ready to drop into this biggest venue the sport offers. The last time he was here, he took a win, starting that streak in the 2019 Red Bull Joyride event. Emil Johansson on course, do not blink.
There's that half cap bar spin in.
Into the half cap bar spin.
Straight into a truck to downside whip. Here we go, people, it's on.
Step down.
Big Oppo 3 double tail whip. The other way, there's that windshield wiper again. So notice he's spinning multiple directions.
Right to pedal so far in every combo.
So stylish, we are going to need that slowed down replay.
Coming into the sphere.
Every little bit.
Big steezy knack out.
I love seeing him squeeze that style out of that knack. Here we go, into the cannon.
Double downside whip, 3. Oh, big cranked invert 5.
Cool, did you see that? Taking a little rest here before the final feature. Emil Johansson on a perfect run so far.
Bar triple truck hop down. How did he get 3 bar spins off on that?
Ridiculous. He's done it again, man. Just the level of difficulty on that run and the degree of precision with which he stomped all of those tricks. This man is on fire.
The difficulty scale is definitely blowing through the roof with opposite tail whips, opposite 360 spins. There's that half cab to truck in. Notice he didn't have to do the back pedal like we saw earlier. He has that free coaster on his bike with that truck to downside whip in, and here he comes into the 4-pack.
Watch this, he gets this opposite 360 double whip. He lands just barely long, but he takes a pedal. You never see him do that.
Yeah, never see him do that, but he wants to keep this run going. There's that 360 double tail spinning his opposite direction, and then what does he do? He goes back the other way. So that is an opposite tail to then now a regular tail. You know, so he's spinning so many different ways. It's so hard to keep up with.
So here, this was an opposite 360 bar to bar back. And then when you think he's done, he squeezes in that inward table. Tyler, I mean, the score to beat right now is a 91. What do you think the judges are going to do with this?
I mean, that is everything we've come to expect from an Emil run. I just want to use the first jump of the 4-pack as an example. Opposite 360, opposite double tail whip. Nothing on that trick is his natural direction. Even to the untrained eye, it looks impressive, but that's the kind of stuff the judges are looking for right there. And he just kept doing it all the way down. He just did what he does, and man, he never disappoints.
So, 1, 2, 3, a triple truck driver down. You know, he didn't leave anything out there. You know, he didn't just end with a chill trick.
Man, so much movement in that.
So the score to beat a 91. Emil Johansson just did Emil Johansson things, and he scores a 94.6. Emil Johansson, number 1. Tell you all how ridiculous this actually is.
Staking his claim, looking at number 8, but I'll tell you what, we saw some stuff out of some of the other riders in practice that we didn't see go down in the first runs. 94, he's 3.5 points ahead, but he's not out of the woods yet. I think we're going to see some riders really coming up and trying to challenge that score in these second runs.
You know, I just want to talk about the 4-pack. It would be next level for him to do the opposite 360 double opposite whip and then back it up with a regular 3 double whip. But instead, he adds that extra level. That's what I'm talking about. Opposite 360, opposite double tail, just what Tyler explained. Now, regular 360 whip, he could have just gone for the double whip there, but he kicks it back the other direction. The windshield wiper, we saw that from FEDKO. And then just like that, it would have been enough even without the inward, but he snuck it in there, and that's just going to exponentially increase the value of the trick.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're picking up on it. I might be getting a little quiet, but I'm absolutely mesmerized by the skills out of this guy. 3 double down whip off the cannon, and there's that 540 invert. These riders don't normally ride quarter pipes, so to see them doing 540s and flares and stuff, it's pretty impressive. And then here we are, coming back down to the village. Bar up, and then hop 3, triple bar down.
Emil Johansson shaking it off.
So Emil, you just did Emil things, and we're just trying to soak it all up and absorb what you were just, you know, what you just performed there. And after winning 7 in a row, talk to me about how it changes. Talk to me about any other challenges coming into this high-pressure situation at Red Bull Joyride.
Yeah, Joyride has been gone for 3 years. It's a really emotional event for me. A month ago, I broke my hand, exactly a month ago. So that I'm back here and been able to perform feels really good.
And I know you kept that broken hand quiet. Is it bugging you out there on the course? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous to think that 4 weeks ago you had a plate and some screws put into that hand. And what was the idea behind keeping that quiet?
I don't really think it was up to any other business than just, I mean, I'm just still doing the same thing. I'm working towards a goal, and whether I'm on the bike or not really doesn't matter, I think. And going into this one, I didn't really have any other plans than to come here and perform, even though I rode for the first time this Tuesday. Yeah.
This sport is so physical, and obviously your capabilities on the bike are what are getting you these wins, but the mental strength that you have to overcome adversity, and the fact that you just did that the last month, you packed it all in, and it all came to fruition right now. I want to congratulate you on that run, and thanks for putting on the show for our fans out here.
Thank you.
Ridiculous. There was one point there where I saw him rest his hand, and I'm thinking, wow, man. I mean, I broke my hand twice as long ago, you know, the same type of bone, and I'm just getting back on the bike. To think that he just dropped that Red Bull Joyride run, scored a 94.6 despite breaking a bone just 4 weeks ago. Ridiculous. But Timothé BRINGER, Erik FEDKO, Tomas Lemoine are hot on his heels. Only, I mean, less than 3 points separating BRINGER from Johansson. So still an opportunity out there for somebody to break this streak. 7 wins in a row from Johansson, looking to make it 8. But 14 other riders looking to cause that streak to come to a screeching halt. Who do you think has what it takes out there to do it?
Man, I can't really count anybody out, because I know from what we've seen in practice and following these guys on Instagram, I know that they are capable of doing things that, you know, will definitely get them the points that they need to challenge Emil's score there. I definitely expect to see BRINGER send it even harder. I definitely expect Nicholi to have air in his tire and come back and really just leave it all on the course. He doesn't want to go away from this Joyride here in Whistler with having anything left on the course. He wants to get to the bottom and have it all there.
Well, we still got another run to go here at Red Bull Joyride 2022. Can they stop the unstoppable man, Emil Johansson? Do not go away.
My name's Rob Warner. I'm taking the best young athletes on a quest to ride the world's greatest trails and meet the people who live in some of the wildest places on Earth.
Never had myself down as a Attenborough type.
Ah, get up!
first sight of the Himalayas.
You know, lions take the weakest and slowest rider.
Oh, my word!
Rob Warner's Wild Rides, now available on Red Bull TV.
Anywhere around here you can get a cappuccino?
Welcome to the video. This is Erik FEDKO, and this is Emil Johansson.
Oh, I've heard about this.
We follow them as they go to different competitions, check out radical bike spots, and lay down dope bangers.
Great.
Some people think that Emil is an alien.
Sounds like being an alien is pretty good.
Holy shit. We hope you enjoy.
Raising the Bar. Now available on Red Bull TV.
Emil Johansson, we saw him rocket ship back to the podium last event after trying so hard to battle illness and get back on tour.
A double truck driver to downside tail whip. It's a 450 step through.
It is official. Emil Johansson has won Red Bull Joyride 2019.
It's been really rough, 10 months off my bike before coming here, and then I feel stronger than I ever been, so yeah, I'm super stoked.
Last chance to secure the triple crown of Crankworx. Backflip bar spin in, another improvement, double tail whip.
He gets it!
Perfect.
Stomping his run. Nicholi ROGATKIN goes into the lead and wins the competition and the triple crown of slopestyle.
Honestly, can't believe it. I just want to thank all my boys here for just believing in me, and whew, it's probably the best moment of my life right now.
Readers on course. Wow, truck driver off that tiny little drop. He has every weapon in the arsenal. Opposite fast plant 360 drop. Whoa! Backflip bar spin to opposite heel whip. A backflip tail up on the cannon. Wow, this is a heck of a run, Pat. And the backflip one foot cannon down. Full pull for Brett Reeder. 2016 Joyride champion, Brett Reeder.
This has been a tough one over the years. Not like the other contests. You know, it's steep and there's lots of features and lots of crowd and pressure and yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel amazing.
Here he comes from Squamish. Let's hear it for the local boys. Brandon Semenuk.
Brandon Semenuk starting out opposite truck driver on the start drop. 360 downside whip off the up box.
So over to the snail farm. One more to go for Brandon Semenuk. Can we hear you people?
Coming in so fast. Bar spin in. Cork 720 down. Can he get it? He lifts it.
I don't think you can ever have too much experience here. I think I've done it before, but it's still hard every time. So happy. Yeah.
And there's Thomas GENON, 18 years old. And if you don't know about this guy, you will very shortly know about this guy.
Oh, do you see how he snapped that front flip? That kid is so comfortable with him, floating up as if he's going into Superman. Double tail whip over the hip.
Shut the front door and runs across the finish, blows out his tire. Oh my gosh, give it up for Tomas GENON. Bam!
I was just so happy to get invited at first. Yeah, it's just the best contest of the year, so the best contest, the best riders ever.
That was a nice little reminiscing look back. It's time for a little halftime hangout. We got Griffin Paulson up here in the booth. Griffin, thanks for joining us, dude.
Thank you so much.
I'm bummed to not see you out there. I know you've been working really hard to get those World Tour points. And, you know, we had some feeder events locally here in BC to try to bring some opportunities for the BC talent. Only one Canadian rider out there in the field. I know you were going to be the other one. Walk me through the injury and how things are going so far.
Yeah, absolutely. My plan was to hit these two BC Gold events leading up to Joyride. It's back-to-back weekends. I knew that it'd be kind of a challenge, but I figured if I'd made it through, I'd feel the best I ever did on my bike. But yeah, unfortunately in practice there, had a little bit of a spill, just a small broken bone in my foot. you know, I tried to ride. I actually got on course and did a couple laps the other day, taped up 2 ankle braces, but the pain was just too much. But yeah, super stoked to have a fellow Canadian and a fellow buddy that I've ridden with for many years get in, Max LANGILLE. So yeah, glad to have a Canadian out here representing for sure.
Talk to me about the up-and-coming talent in Canada. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's hard to travel to Europe. That's where all the contests are. So these 2 events, talk to me about those 2 events and what you think that's going to do the next few years moving forward. Do you think we're going to see more Canadians back here at Joyride?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a good crew of Canadian kids I've been riding with the past couple winters, kind of from this lower mainland area. And yeah, I think they're next up. These kids have all the skills to compete on this level and be on these courses. So, you know, to have those opportunities to compete in your own province and on courses you're kind of used to without buying a plane ticket, you know, it's pretty sweet.
No, it's a great opportunity. Kind of the only way to give equal opportunities out there, bring more events to more areas around the world. Now, you're coming back from that injury. What do you make of, you know, watching Emil do what he just did with, you know, his recovery in mind, and the fact that, you know, you got out there and tried to ride just 2 weeks after shows how much gladiators you guys really are.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe that Emil's riding with his hand like that. You know, I saw him chilling in the hotel, and I could see it was a little swollen and stuff. I know he was doing physio and working with the doctors here at Crankworx to be prepared, but, I mean, you certainly could not tell during that run. Emil was looking on point as always there.
Ridiculous. I think we should watch the run again. What do you think?
Please, I would love to, yeah.
Let's throw it on the screen. Here we go. Talk me through this one. We've talked about it enough, Griffin. I just want to hear, you know, a fellow competitor's point of view.
Dropping in with that small half cap bar, such a tactical little trick into the truck down whip. The switch 360 double tail up is just ridiculous and linked up with the 360 windshield wiper. The combos and cleanliness that Emil has is just so unbelievable. The style out of the dish like that. 360 double down whip off of the bones. Just finding the pedal so clean with his feet every single time. And I'm not positive, but I'm claiming that's never been done. Triple truck on a drop like that.
I think you're right, man. Hey, if you're saying it, I would agree with you because I can't think of a triple truck off of a drop before. That's just evidence of the level he's on. You know, a truck driver could have still put him in the lead.
Absolutely.
A double truck would be like, okay, cool, he pushed it. But perpetual line stepper, triple truck.
It's
like
the statement move. Yeah.
I want to say, too, about, like, you know, when your hand is healing and how much involvement your hands have in a bar spin.
Yeah, I never thought. I wonder if it's his throw hand or if it's his catch hand.
It's his throw hand, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, sometimes when you're clicking bars that fast, your catch hand is taking an impact. So maybe that's helping him a little bit that it is his throw hand.
The streak that Emil's on right now, 7 in a row. He's hoping to make it 8. He's sitting in the lead right now. Yeah. But 7 times he has shown the riders what level he's on, and they've had that amount of time to train for this moment right now. We have 14 riders with an opportunity to put their names in the history books and be the one who knocked him off the streak. Who do you think it's going to be?
I mean, there's definitely some guys you can see out here are hungry for it. FEDKO, I think, put down a very close run to that. Tim Bringer, I know, has more and put down an absolute banger as well. And Lucas HUPPERT, man, what a run he had going. The crash on that 3-whip drop on the end, I think that could definitely mix some things up here.
Now, there's some runs out there that if they're stomped, I just can't wait to see what the score is. But it's true, the same as it's been since the end of the 2019 season. Emil Johansson has a big old bullseye on his back. Let's take a look at how he sets up his bike in the Emil Johansson Maxxis bike check.
My name is Emil Johansson. This is my Maxxis bike check. We're here for the 10th anniversary of Red Bull Joyride. Joyride for us is like our Super Bowl. It's the most prestigious event we have. Everyone is really hungry to get after it. Tire setup is key for slopestyle, or obviously any biking related sport. The last bit of contact you have between the tool you're using against the ground you're covering. Having a good set of tires that you can trust, it's key for performance. This is a Trek Ticket S. I have RockShox Deluxe Ultimate rear shock, pretty high pressure on it. In the front, it's a Pike DJ by RockShox. It's been my go-to fork for 8 years now, and it's always been up for the job. I have about 200 PSI in the fork. Wheel sets, it's Industry 9. Couldn't be more stoked on the performance they've given me together with the Maxxis tires. Up in the front, I'm running a Maxxis Icon 2.2. This is the full spec'd out tire. I'm about 4 bars in pressure on it, maybe slightly higher depending on what conditions there are. In the back, I'm running a Maxxis Icon Pace tire. This is a 2.1 version. Also fully spec'd out with the exo protection as well as the tubeless ready sides. For the cockpit, it's a full 6-pack racing setup as well as seat. This is a custom painted EJ stem, my signature stem. It's painted in white, as well as this custom leather seat that I worked on together with 6-pack. Later this month, I have a shoe releasing, so this seat is made to match. It actually has the same material, straight from the same factory. I'm running HD components pedals. This is the Supreme model. I'm running the Sensus MJ grips. That's it. That's everything about my bike. Stoked on this build. Hope all the nerds out there learned something or liked it. Thanks for watching.
Well, thanks to Emil there for letting us nerds out here learn something about the bike that has won 7 in a row. It's going for 8. That full suspension Trek Ticket S out there. A lot of riders riding hardtails. You know, there's something about that full suspension that just kind of keeps things moving in the right direction. But a powerful rider doesn't need suspension. Let's talk about Tim Bringer. That guy is in a league of his own, and what is he going to need to do to knock Emil off the top spot?
I mean, I don't know, but I know it's going to be exciting. I know he's got a couple other bars he can fit in there, and yeah, I don't know. You never know what the Hulk is going to do. This guy's full of surprises, full of power, and he's got. Oh,
did he do that in practice?
I think he did. I think he did. Cool. Yes. I know he could snipe a little bar in there.
I was thinking that too. He caught so early.
Possibly combo the cash roll even. I know he could put another bar there.
How much stuff you got to think of when you're going to do a run like this, and then in the second run try to add to it. That's got to be one of the best things we saw in the dish, though. The whip out.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it'll be a lot of fun for Tim Bringer with a solid run in his first run. Hopefully he can kind of go up there with not a whole lot of pressure and just have fun with it.
Yeah, totally. I'm kind of thinking about that final drop too. You know, he's got that flat drop backflip. If he can squeeze a variation into that, it would be interesting. But speaking about that final drop, going into this run number 2, we got to talk about one of the most exciting moments from run number 1, and maybe one of the most exciting moments of Joyride, when Lemoine just jumped over the entire final feature. What do you make of that?
I think that's one of the most iconic moments that's happened at Joyride in years. I've never seen the crowd light up like that. I think every person on this hill was jumping on their feet cheering.
I just wanted to be a part of that moment. I ripped my headset off, and I just felt all of that sound wave from the crowd. I can't watch this. So, you know what? If he jumps that thing again and he can clean this run up a little bit, he went long. I can't believe he was able to hold on.
Yeah, that was a really good save. You can tell, yeah, Lemoine's a fast guy. He's winning those pump track and speed style events as well. So, you know, that helps him out in this slope style when he makes a little mistake like that to be able to make up for it and still make that next feature.
So that second jump in the 4-pack, he can get a bigger combo on it, but he's got to do this at the end again.
I can't. I couldn't imagine pedaling at that thing that fast, knowing you're going to clear this entire feature.
What do you think? So, obviously, the dangers of that are clipping your back tire on the box, and the other danger is going too far. Do you think that he could get away with going a little bit slower, or does he need to overshoot that much to clear the box? Look at the reaction from the homies.
Yeah, the boys. Yeah, I'm not sure where his head would be at with that. I mean, you'd certainly be concerned about clearing the edge of that drop because it would be catastrophic to clip. He definitely did go pretty deep there, but, you know, Lemoine's a strong guy. You could see him take that impact, and I think he was pretty stoked to ride away from that one.
Insane. I mean, I know that's going to be a moment that goes down in Red Bull Joyride history, but here's a question for you. This is our Crankworx hotline where we take questions from the viewers, and we answer them. So, one of the viewers wanted to know, what is in your opinion, the most iconic Red Bull Joyride moment?
I think I've already said this in an interview, but it's got to be Nicholi ROGATKIN's Triple Crown winning run. It was the last run of the day, last rider to drop, last run of the season. He had to put that run down to win, and he did it. I think that is the most iconic. time that's happened
It
here
was like
at
the
Joyride.
perfect story.
It was the perfect
all
story.
the pressure. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I'd have to agree, man. I'm coming from BMX. I think for me, it's when Nyquist got on the podium.
Yeah.
I actually cried when that happened. Just I knew what he went through to get there, and like how hard it is to be a multi-sport athlete. And when that happened, that was probably the most iconic moment for me.
Well, it could be just because I was reminded about this moments ago, but Timo Pritzl kind of planted the seed for the idea of jumping over entire on-off boxes. He did it in 2004. He didn't land it, but you know what? That's what progression is all about. People taking those steps, taking the risks, and then, you know, look, however many years later right now, from 04 to 2022, Lemoine just brought that energy back, and that's got to be one of my top moments right there. But this one's going to go down in history as well. So Tim Bringer preparing for run number 2. France is coming out here strong, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know Tim and Lemoine are good buddies and ride together all the time. And, you know, they have lots of fun with their riding for sure. They're always having a good time on course. So cool to see these guys killing it.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us up here, Griffin.
Thank
It's
you so
great to
much.
pick your
Cheers.
brain. You know, a rider who's currently rubbing elbows with these guys and competing with them. So get back out there, get a good seat, and get ready for run number 2. That goes for you out there as well. Do not go away. We have all 15 riders dropping their second run. Emil Johansson with that gigantic bullseye on his back. Does he have what it takes to make it 8 in a row? Or will riders like Bringer or FEDKO knock him off of the top step of the podium? Run number 2 coming up after the break. Stay exactly where you are.
Pump up your tires for the bike content on Red Bull TV. And check out the best live events, feature films, and shows. Download the Red Bull TV app for free. And sign in to watch all of our content offline. Download.
Crankworx is back, baby! Ow!
Right now, Whistler, ultimate pump track challenge. Looking good, Thomas Lemoine as well. As they come across the line.
Welcome back, slopestyle fans, to the Super Bowl of slopestyle, the biggest slopestyle event in the world, the place where it all started, right here in Whistler, BC. Red Bull Joyride 2022. It is time for run number 2. And the crowd is absolutely buzzing. Let's take this opportunity to listen in to our live event announcer, Derek Foose, as he gets this crazy crowd even crazier coming into run number 2.
Whistler, I'm right here in the finish corral and I can't hear you. Let's make some noise for the best slopestyle athletes in the world. Let's go, keep it moving, more noise, more stuff. What do we have? Let's go. Keep it moving, I can't hear you, Whistler. Keep it going. This is Red Bull Joyride.
Well, if you can't hear them, that means you're not listening, because they're going absolutely nuts for Dawid GODZIEK. What are the odds of this? He's the first rider to drop in run number 2 here. Sitting in last place after winning the last 4 contests he signed up for, one of them being X Games BMX Dirt, where he took the gold. Dawid GODZIEK, flat tire in run number 1. He knows exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah, he's got to put that first run out of his mind. Didn't even happen. Here he goes, starting his day right over right now. I think this is going to be a good one, Cam.
Here we go, Dawid GODZIEK on course.
Pulls that half cap that hook again nicely. Straight into that tail whip 360. Bringing it around to the 4-pack. Huge twister. What's it going to be?
He's got speed. Come on, come on.
Into a cash roll.
Yes.
Massive, massive combination.
Man, just barely sneaking over the knuckle there on that landing. Oh, yeah.
Nice 270 Indian air.
Right there.
Coming into the sphere. What's he got? Toboggan fast plant to bar out. Getting multiple combos in there, racking up as many points as he possibly can. Kind of refocusing here, getting set up, coming straight at the cannon.
Knowing that there's a few more features to go. Whistler, this is Dawid GODZIEK.
Oh, big triple tail off the cannon. Flare bar spin.
Okay,
something he could have been bringing from his BMX. Flare bar spin.
Happening here for Dawid GODZIEK. He needs to beat a 94.6. He's got one more opportunity for a trick. No! He goes for the Oppo whip up and slips a pedal. You gotta be kidding me.
Oppo tail whip up. That's when you kick the tail whip in the opposite direction. That's your normal way. And I can't tell you how hard that is. Figuring out where your feet need to go. Everything's about memory, and it's completely opposite. Just a small slip of the pedal. Let's see what he's gonna do. Is this gonna be for the crowd or what, Cam?
Dawid GODZIEK, an absolute heartbreaker. He stomps. Oh my gosh! No way! Wow!
Went for the cash roll off the drop after a opposite tail whip.
Oh man, okay.
We know he had what it took to push Emil's score.
To think that only one other person has done a flat drop cash roll, and he wanted to do it right after an opposite tail whip. Wow, the gusto and go for it he has to try that cash roll drop. A trick just landed a couple weeks ago by Mike Ross from Australia at the title slopestyle at Silver Star. We are just absolutely entering a new era here with these tricks.
The extension on the no-handed twister off the charts, straight into the cash roll. To be able to land that first trick smooth enough to have the momentum to do that cash roll is amazing. And here's that triple tail whip off the cannon log.
Tyler,
right to pedals.
The triple tail whip on the cannon, we were saying, you know, that might be one of the first times we've seen that. Can you think of another time we've seen a triple whip off of a cannon?
No, and there's a reason. It's ridiculous, man. He just pulls out all the crowd-pleasing moves, the big things that just really get the crowd going, and this would have just been insane. Such a shame. Can we please get a third run for Dawid here?
I know, come on. Just like, let's amend the Constitution here and give Dawid GODZIEK a third run. Here's a look at that cash roll. No way. All right, let's break down what that is for people who are going, I have no idea what to make of that.
A cash roll is one of the most difficult tricks. You're spinning two directions. You're spinning a flip and you're spinning a 3 at the same time. The wherewithal to know where that landing is and stick your eyes to that landing and bring the bike in is super, super difficult. The thing that impressed me the most is that, yes, he's trying to do one of the newest, hardest tricks. You said yourself only one other rider's pulled it, but he did an opposite tail up into it. That shows his mentality. He's not here for second place.
Oh man, well, we can rest here at Red Bull Joyride.
Keeps the energy moving here as Torquato TESTA, the Italian slopestyle phenom, drops into the course.
360 marksman.
Nice triple combo on that step down, backward Superman to no foot can. Big corked out 7.
720 on that.
Nice,
straight into a cash roll.
Very smooth. No pedals in between the first and second jumps of the 4-pack there for TESTA.
Downside double tail whip on the hip, bringing it into the sphere.
Downside, airing out.
Bar spin out. Okay, now he's going to sort of regroup here and bring it to the cannon. We've seen some huge firsts out of the cannon today. Let's see what Torquato's got.
Number 1, making the right correct adjustments. Now coming down into our cannon log here.
Big backflip pull. Looks like maybe he was looking for something else. Maybe some bar spins in there. I saw him kind of pinch his knees. Tail whipping that quarter pipe. He's going to bring it home. This one's for the fans. Let's see what he's got. Bar spin up. Straight backflip down. Solid run out of Torquato TESTA. Definitely not what he wanted. We see him shaking his head no. But the level of tricks and the level of skill when it's not what he wants is absolutely blowing me away.
Yeah, I mean, these are things that nobody who rides a bike 99% of the humans who ride bicycles could never imagine doing one of the tricks that he did in this run on these 11 features. This was a highlight for me right here, linking that cork sev to the cash roll, doing corked 720s on 2 separate axes. We see that cash roll. It's the same thing that GODZIEK tried off of this flat drop here, that corked 720 over a forward axis, and we see him shaking his head. You know that he wants to get the hands off there. He's tucking the bars into his lap. He wants to secure the handlebars and take the hands off. Torquato TESTA not getting exactly what he wanted, but still such a ridiculous run. I guess that's a level run. You see a run like that and they're shaking their head through the finish line because they know they need more.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but if I just come down the Joyride course with that run, I would have been looking like Nicholi ROGATKIN down there celebrating my face off.
Yeah, I would have needed a time machine to be able to do that. It's a ridiculous level these youngsters are on here. I mean, Jakub VENCL, 32, he's the oldest guy out there still doing it. Can't wait to see his run. Torquato TESTA, the score coming in. He does better the score, 70.8. Puts him in 7th spot.
Bumps himself all the way 8 places. Yes. Here we go, now that we re-racked, and we knew that Nicholi has what it takes to push that score.
Yes,
had that issue. Here we go. This is gonna be big. Starting off with that tail whip. Straight into the cash roll, perfectly smooth this time. Okay, here we go. There's the twister, bring it in.
Oh, it's low, but does he have the speed?
Tuck no hander, he's keeping it going.
Good improvisational skills there so far on the first jump in the 4-pack.
Big triple tail whip on the hip. That's a downside tail whip.
Getting on the bike at the last second.
Bringing it in and out of the sphere, straight back into the course at the cannon. Last time we saw cash roll, let's see if he's got it again.
Boom,
cash roll out of the cannon. Oh, Nicholi! Slightly under-rotated on the spin. We don't see Nicholi stay down too often. One of the riders that are always willing to send it the hardest.
Nicholi ROGATKIN coming up a little short on that cash roll. He's standing up right now. I believe the hand blew off as well. Always tough to get into a controlled tuck and roll when your hand blows off upon impact. Just a little bit of an under rotation there. Wow, I thought he was, I'm surprised to see him up riding right now. Is he gonna ride off the last drop too? Of course he is, he's Nicholi ROGATKIN. Geez, and he 360s off the last drop. Yep, he's superhuman.
Yeah, no matter what, Nicholi's not someone that's gonna walk off the course unless he has to.
Do you see that? The tire just blew out. Wow, so disappointment there for Nicholi ROGATKIN. I know he wanted to give the people what they want. Just unfortunately coming up short. We're gonna look back at this under-rotated cash roll here.
So watch his back tire land first, and it just ejects him forward. His hand did slip off. That was a good eye cam. Just landed on a little under-rotated back tire. It looked like he didn't quite have his eyes around to spot the landing and taking a huge hit to the body.
Nicholi is the guy who always pops up and rides if it's possible to do so. Also, I don't know, is this any coincidence? He wears the most protective gear out there. Wear your pads, kids. Max LANGILLE. Man, he was the first rider to drop. And now he's staged for run number 2 in his first Red Bull Joyride appearance, his first Crankworx World Tour slopestyle appearance. He took the wild card at Big White. Here we go, one last opportunity.
Nollie, no-hander straight out of the gate into a flip whip. Bringing it around, looking unbelievably smooth. Big Superman C-grab Indian flip. Front flip. Yes. Perfect choice of trick. Looked like he was a little low on speed, and when you do that front flip, you can get a little further. So let's see what he does to keep it going. Big tuck no-handed. 450 on the hip.
He's looking good, he's looking poised. He's been spinning out of the disc. There we go, perfect.
Spin straight out of the sphere coming into the cannon. This is a lot cleaner than his first run.
Whoa. Here we go.
Big truck driver coming into the quarter pipe. Tuck no-hander to bar, so the nerves have calmed down quite a bit for Max here. Here it is, buddy, take it. You're coming into the Whistler Village at the 10th edition of Joyride. What's it gonna be? Big truck driver back into the crowd.
Strong finish for Max LANGILLE. This is what he's been dreaming about right here. skidding into that Whistler finish corral to the roar of the crowd.
So happy and elated to be down to the bottom. I love seeing the emotion out of these guys. It's not easy. Nicholi right there. The camaraderie between these slopestyle athletes is like, it's not really like that in many other sports. It's awesome to see.
I mean, it's crazy what they go through, and the fact that they go through it together, it forges a pretty tight bond, man. So Max sitting in 14th place right now. If you remember from run 1, he messed up on this very trick here, the backflip, Superman C-Crab, Indian Air. He landed long on this run 2 attempt, but was able to be smart about it, like you said, Alan, and push through to front flip that next jump. He had to go around that jump in run number 1. So you know this is going to improve upon the score. Big question is, will it move him up in the rankings? He's currently sitting in 14th place.
Off the cannon, big truck driver. Front end just a little high, but keeping the flow going straight into the quarter pipe, tuck no hander to bar spin. It's awesome to see Max out here, feeling the crowd, feeling his country. Big, huge truck driver straight back in. Was definitely not a smooth landing, but he was not going to let go. He had to held that.
I like the fact that the foot did not touch the ground. He was able to just hold on to that slightly under-rotated 360 bar spin. We nicknamed that the truck driver. Here we go. Run number 2 score for Max LANGILLE. 70.6. He's moved up to 8th. Way to go.
Currently in the top 10, living in 8th place.
Oh man, what an experience. It's insane to see him here, man. I met him as a young kid doing camps out here in Whistler, and to see him now just stomp a joyride run. Goosebumps. There we go. Jakub VENCL. I told you we'd be switching to a different shift run number 2. Rocking Judas Priest today.
Every single slope style, that Judas Priest. Jakub VENCL, the Czech rider, he's another one who didn't quite lock in the full pull on run number 1, but we know
a rider who has fallen off tour before and now clawed his way back up, getting those valuable points. His best finish in Crankworx World Tour slopestyle events. He's got a couple fifths to his name. New Zealand 2020, Leger 2018. Issues in run number 1 for VENCL. But an opportunity to make good now.
Looking smooth with that 3. Big tuck behind her. So this is where it got him the first time. He went long on the double back. Let's see if he can pull it. There's 1, there's 2. Straight into the landing. Perfectly executed. Front foot no-hander. Okay, Jakub's on a roll. He's got that momentum going in his direction. See what he's got on these hips. Double tail whip straight into the sphere. He's pedaling. All the way around, back out. Coming down to the cannon.
Style points and confidence into it.
Oh, I love the style. Jakub VENCL, one of the tallest riders in the field, using that to his advantage. Big style on the extension there, on that inward table off the cannon. Now, into the final on-off box. Bar spin up.
Big tuck no-handed 3 out. Solid run out of Jakub. He's so stoked. He's definitely going to be moving up the leaderboard there. Nailing that double backflip with perfect execution. He landed high up on the tranny, both tires at the same time. That's what he was looking for out of that run 1. Listen to him, he is hyped.
Yes. Jakub VENCL lives for these moments here. He loves rock and roll. He loves slopestyle mountain biking. It's great to have him here stomp a run at Red Bull Joyride 2022.
Look at this landing. Watch the tires. Exactly at the same time, getting that pump he needed. Plenty of momentum for that front flip no-hander. Double downside tail whip on the hip. And then coming into this final drop, bar spin up. Tuck no-handed 3 down. Grabs the bars with his knee and kind of wedge them in there, and then you're able to just take your hands off and let it fly. You see it wedge right in there. Boom.
How about the
executed.
extension too, you know, like at the end of the run after doing 10 other tricks to be able to get good extension on that 360 tuck no-hander. That's gonna make a great photo.
Absolutely.
So what will the score be here for Jakub VENCL out of the Czech Republic? He improves a 72.4 into 7th place right there.
He's going to be happy with that.
Great performance for Jakub.
Just jumping over Torquato TESTA.
So we're getting word right now, Thomas GENON will not take his second run. We saw him have that heavy slam on the 3-whip on the cannon in run number 1. So it's all about Hoopy. Lucas Huppert, next rider to take to the course, kick the season off on a great note with a 5th in Innsbruck.
Hearts in our mouths, and then unfortunately,
you remember that first run, Cam, it was looking like a podium finish, but had a little bit of a slip up on that last top. So let's see what he's got.
I want to see him go for it again here. He's got to make it there first.
Truck in, double tail him down the step down, perfectly landed. Backflip, tail whip, front flip.
Oh,
and there's the front flip, triple bar spin. Okay, so he's back on course.
Yep.
Nice little slide. You can see he's feeling comfortable out there.
And there's that
downside tail whip.
Opposite tail whip as well. Insane.
Here's it. 1, 2, gets the pump. Comes out, bars
2 times around, bars out.
Oh,
so he's looking good. What's he got on the cannon?
Very technical feature. Very consequential.
Toboggan to Steez.
All right, it's all about this final drop here. Once he gets past this quarter pipe smooth, he does. Okay, he went for a 360 tail in run number 1. Does he go for it again? Can he stomp it?
This is Joyride. He's going for it. Let's get it. Come on, Lucas.
Come on, Lucas. Boom, there it is. Perfect.
Second run, ladies and gentlemen. That was awesome.
Banger.
Look at how stoked he is.
Oh, that was so good. Wow. To crash in run number 1, knowing that you have to stomp all 10 tricks before getting the opportunity to do the 3-whip on the 11th feature of the course. Wow, what a performance there for Lucas Huppert, one of the youngest guys out here in the field. He just keeps getting better. Look at how early he caught the pedals on that flip whip.
Definitely, and then here's that
1,
triple.
2, 3. To get that twice
triple
in a
bar
row.
spin front flip. It's amazing. Again, I think that might be, I've never seen it before. It's a first for me at least. And there's that opposite downside tail whip on the hip. Opposite downside tail backflip, that is. And then here, the one that took him out in the first run, 360 tail up off the flat drop.
It's perfect, too. He couldn't have done it any better. So here's what the stakes are at this moment in time. His best result is a 5th place. He just keeps on getting better. Will this run give him a new best result on the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour? I cannot wait to see the score here for Lucas Huppert.
Currently 13th position, definitely going to be moving up the leaderboard, but just how far?
Big question is how much.
Tournament is the best.
He needs to beat the 88.6 from FEDKO to move in. Look at that, he's sitting in 4th place. What a great score for Lucas Huppert. If he's able to stay in 4th, that'll be his best Crankworx result.
That's the biggest jump we've seen from run 1 to run 2.
Tyler, what do you make of that run, and do you think the judges did the right thing with it?
Some really big moves in there. Front foot triple bar spin. He could have played it easy, done a double bar, but he had the run of mind he wanted to do. 360 tail drop. To do that at the end of your run when you're tired, fatigued, especially after just crashing on it, that was a good run right there. And I'm so psyched to see him in the top 5, getting points, staying on tour.
Thank you, Tyler. That's a good thing to mention is, you know, aside from personal best right there, you know, he's looking to better his best performance already, but those points to be able to stay on tour, especially for a young rider, is so important. Speaking of staying on tour, this is the guy who's been on the alternate list so many times, and right now he had the points to make it into the big show. Issues in run number 1 for Tom ISTED, but he still finished things off with that killer corked out flat drop flip at the bottom. Let's see if he can clean things up here in run number 2.
360 off the drop. Big backflip tuck no-hander on the step down. Coming into this 4-pack. Huge cork set. Oh, we lost another tire. Just, he's still going to get a workout, though. He's still going to get a workout.
Listen to that.
Looking like Morgan Wade out there.
Come on, push-ups for George.
Yeah, unfortunately, just over-rotating the spin portion of that trick. And landing a little bit sideways. Straight backflip. What else is he got? He's going to do some magic? What's he going to pull out of his sleeve?
He's going to get a rabbit out of his helmet. Oh, man, that was loud. They were very loud right there.
Yeah, okay, here's the replay. Now watch, he's flipping and spinning at the same time. You see his head reaching, and just looks like he under-rotated the flip a little bit or overspun. I can't do this trick, but one of those things came through. And unfortunately, he was just a little bit too sideways, and his tire slid out and then exploded. Kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier. These are the biggest jumps there are. A lot of times, you can over-rotate and just ride out of it, no problem. But because the height and the speed and the amplitude these guys are getting here on this Joyride course, the tires, they demand perfection out of these riders.
They're crazy tall, you know, like they obviously aren't the longest jumps, but they're the perfect distance for the height of these ramps, which it's hard to translate on camera. When you stand at the base of these things, they're just towering over you. The amount of airtime that's on tap, but also the amount of different heights. If you were really getting amplitude points out here, that's going to carry more speed into the next jump. You see some riders just go so high on these jumps, and that means you got to slow your rotation down. I think that's what happened there for Tom. A little bit over-rotated. But look what we got here. David Lieb.
David Lieb,
American on course.
And he is here now.
Nollie to bar spin off. Can backflip. He was able to pull off his first run, so let's see if he steps it up anywhere.
David just making it happen here.
Backflip, triple bar spin.
He had a double in run number one.
Triple tail. Okay, so David's comfortable. He's stepping it up from run one for sure.
He knows what he needs to do out here in run two. Yes, David.
Yes, truck to tail whip. What's he got? Hand plant. Bar out. Okay, David. He's stoked. He's fist pumping while still on the course.
He was the first rider we saw in the competition today to stomp a clean run, and he is already up in the ante now in run number two. Nice.
Big backflip bar spin on the cannon into the quarter pipe. Nice smooth flare. Okay. This is for all the marbles, David. What do you got back into the festival village here?
Everything is going David's way so far in this run. One last trick.
Yeah!
Drop flip. He's stomping it.
Coming in as a wild card after a huge performance a couple weeks ago in Big White. Here on the main stage, nailing both runs. I mean, the amount of experience you get from pulling both runs that he's going to now be able to carry on to future events.
I mean, that was a veteran performance. If you think about the big picture, both of these runs, he put one in the bag, and then he dropped in for number two, and just right off the get-go started upping the ante, grabbing more points. We know this is going to score higher than his run number one. The question is, how much higher will he climb up that leaderboard?
The mental side of this game, being able to pull two runs like that. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if next time we see him out here, that second run is his first warm-up run. It's a game of building. You build from one spot, and that's exactly what he did. He added tricks the whole way down, upped the ante. Heck of a time for David.
Currently sitting in 11th place. His run number one scored him a 68. We're absolutely expecting to see a bigger number next to his name here once we get the score in. David Lieb soaking up this moment. The fans out here are the best. It's crazy. I've seen so many wild things this week. Kids that used to be in the finish line crowd, now out there grown adults with their kids riding the bike park. Such a tradition we have out here in Whistler. If you haven't made it to Red Bull Joyride, we hope to see you out here at some point to experience this. There's nothing like being here in person. So the judges taking their time here with this one for David Lieb.
I hope all you guys watching at home, look at the crowd out there. Not one person is leaving. This contest is not over, so make sure you stay tuned. Plenty of riders to come, plenty of opportunity for these guys to up the ante on their run and get up there towards Emil's score of 94.6.
So David Lieb up the ante, moved up into 9th place as Paul COUDERC gets up in the gate and looks to do the same exact thing. Energy and momentum on his side. Paul COUDERC, run number two.
Fast plan 360.
Oh no!
And as quickly as it starts.
Unfortunately, slipped a pedal.
I just heard that sound from Price is Right.
Unfortunately, slipped his pedal on that fast plant drop in. Fast plant 3 drop in.
No way, man.
Let's get a closer look here. Gets the rotation a little bit. Oh, he was struggling to get his foot on. That's one of the most technical things is when you come back on, your foot is all the way down and your pedal's not where you usually have it. And he just got his weight off a little bit when he backpedaled to get him flat and get ready for whatever he was going to do off that step down. Yeah, look at him. He can't believe it.
Well, here's the part about that is he's got to take off his back foot. It's easier to take off your front foot. So there's an awkward rewind needed to get back to your natural stance. So bummer there for Paul COUDERC. But Max Fredriksson coming off of an absolutely stomped run number 1.
We'll dig into it a little bit later, I'm sure, but straight back into it now. Max
another opportunity to improve Sweden's Max Fredriksson on course.
Perfect nollie 360 on the drop, bar to bar, truck to invert. What's he got here? Big back foot Barshman lands perfect. Nice smooth 360. Okay, so maybe he's just comfortable with that first run. What do you think, or is he saving up for something big at the end?
Max Fredriksson currently sitting in 6th place right now, and I think he stomped his dream run in run number 1. I think that's what we're seeing. Tyler, what do you think about Max right now? Do you think he's happy with run number 1?
I don't know. It's hard to say because it looked like he started off adding a combo on that first step down, so I thought he was going to sneak. Dude, he can just always sneak in more bar spins. It's crazy. So I think he was going to try to up it, and then he had a mistake on that first jump in the 4-pack there. So 6th place ain't a bad day at Joyride. He might just be content with that.
It's a great day at Joyride. I think you're probably right about that. Max Fredriksson had such a good run in his first of 2 that to be able to get a higher score, you absolutely need to be spotless. So as soon as you see a stain on the run, save yourself for the next one. Long season, we're just getting started. We got to talk about that as well. We usually finish off the season here at Joyride, but we'll be awarding the overalls in New Zealand this year in November. We've got an event in Cairns, Australia in October as well. But I just got word who we have up at the top of the course for their second run. The guy who made the cork fly off of this joint. I don't think I've ever heard anything so loud as when Tomas Lemoine did this in run number 1. So a lot of opportunities to brush things up. If he jumps the bottom again, let's break it down.
Cam, if you had to trick this, what would you do?
Wake up. If I was jumping over that thing, I'd clearly be dreaming. But if I were Tomas Lemoine, I would be thinking, okay, cool. I got to get a better trick on the second jump in the 4-pack and maybe tuck no hander, bar spin off that thing. I don't know. He's a wild guy with a lot of wild ideas, and I know he feeds off the crowd. So if he makes it there with a flawless run, I'd expect to see him not only go for it again, but maybe try something off of that gap. Let's see. Tomas Lemoine on course.
With that manual to tuck no hander. And okay, so he's stepping it up. He did a bar spin on the first one. Big invert 3 on the step down. Lemoine bringing it around.
Come on.
Nice. Perfectly executed double backflip into a cash roll. Okay. Okay. Let's see it, Lemoine. Keep it together. Big double tail with 360. Yeah. What's it gonna be?
Now into the sphere.
X up in, 270 X up out. So he's still one-upping his previous run.
I mean, he can move up. If he does it again at the bottom, he can absolutely move up. This is going to be ridiculous.
Hitting that reset button, coming into the cannon. What's he got? Big backflip tuck no hander. Nice. Perfectly executed. Up onto the quarter pipe. Invert to bar spin. Okay, here we go. This is going to be it. Let's get it. Come on, Lemoine.
The approach.
You got this.
The crowd's going wild. Tomas Lemoine. Gaps it again. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That was perfect. Look at that. Oh, my God. Pulsed it all together.
Even smoother this time. Oh, they're doing it again. They're freaking out.
Look at that. The fans are holding their heads. They do not know what just happened. The roof has been blown off. The Whistler Village and this 10th edition Joyride course, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely witnessing history.
Okay.
The crowd's still going off.
That's what slopestyle's all about, man.
Lemoine loving it, showing his respect and appreciation.
Okay. The crazy thing is in run number 1, he did it, but he had mistakes in his run. He did it again to finish run number 2, but he was so much better at the top of the course here this time around. I mean, the Castrol is going to score way higher than the, improvisational combo he had in run number 1. He X'd into the dish and 3X'd out. The flip tuck on the cannon, and then everybody knew what was happening. Listen. Boom.
How he has to suck up that tranny to even catch the wedge is so technical.
Third time's a charm.
Unbelievable. Look at him, he doesn't even know what just happened.
Oh, please, come join us at Red Bull Joyride in person. Look at that. Oh boy,
What's it gonna be? Those numbers are going up.
All the way up to third place. 90! Tomas Lemoine sitting in podium position. The crowd goes wild again.
What a time for Lemoine here in Whistler. Taking home the gold in speed and style. Now he finds himself sitting on the podium for the moment. Definitely going to be counting those points towards the king of Crankworx.
Oh, yeah, we're back on track now. Erik FEDKO in the gate, currently sitting in 4th place, just bumped off of podium contention right now. Erik FEDKO in a high-pressure situation. You know he wants to land on the podium. He just saw what Lemoine did. He's trying to calibrate, what do I need to do to get back into the top 3?
FEDKO dropping in. Oppo 360, that's spinning his opposite rotation straight into a flip tail whip. Nice. Coming into this 4-pack. Truck to tail whip, lands a little low, gets a pedal in.
Oh yeah. He needs absolutely perfect speed to be able to do that. 360 windshield wiper. Didn't have it.
This is where I really enjoy watching FEDKO ride, when he's doing it just the way he wants to, no other reason. The kid's got the best style we've seen since the inception of the sport.
FEDKO doing it for the crowd right now, knowing he's probably not going to better his score. Putting on a show nonetheless.
Big flare back into the wood. No need for a wedge landing. Waving off the crowd, just enjoying this one, bringing it all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, FEDKO, right on. So FEDKO will not improve. He'll hold on to that 4th place position as we take a look at the start list and realize we have 2 more riders to go. Tim Bringer, the last rider, with an opportunity to knock Emil Johansson off of that top spot. Great camaraderie here yet again between Lemoine and FEDKO. The fans loving every minute of this. But you know, right now, Tim Bringer's loading up into the gate.
And even FEDKO after his run is still
there he is.
Straight in for a hug.
The last man with the opportunity to break the streak of Emil Johansson.
Oh, we talked about it so much in halftime. Tim Bringer has places where he can fit some more things in because of that power he has on the bike. One last run here for Tim Bringer.
There's the truck in. Let's see if he can get it out again. Big double backflip straight onto the step down. Okay, here we go. Bringer's on. Big double tail whip backflip. Straight into that cash roll. Looking smooth. Coming around to the hip section. Nice. There's those extra bar spins Tyler was telling us that he had in the bag.
That's right.
Bar up. Tail whip out.
So quick.
The judges are going to be loving that.
All right, Tim Bringer approaching the cannon. We saw him flip whip it in run number 1. What does he have for us?
Down into this cannon log. What's he got?
Gets the backward tail whip off. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, the flare whip. Oh,
so close. So close.
Tim Bringer going for it, trying to improve. And sliding out on that flare whip.
He definitely had what it took. He was looking to push Emil on his second run, but unfortunately just sliding out on that flare whip.
He knew he had to throw everything at it.
Crazy. Crazy what that means.
The Ocho.
Tim Bringer was not going to let him have it. Tim Bringer was going for it. Then,
look how excited he is. He just found himself on the podium at Joyride. So did Lemoine.
Well, France, 3-2 here in this competition, and this is ridiculous. Look at this man. Increasing the streak to 8. Emil Johansson, ridiculous, doing it again.
Kind of falling. Put his helmet on.
Okay, we're going to talk all about this win here in a minute and what this means. We get to watch him do a victory lap, which is so much fun, especially because he gets to do tricks that he wouldn't normally do in a run. So we're going to get to that in a minute. But let's talk about Triple Crown real quick.
Yeah. Emil's keeping the Triple Crown alive by winning this one. He's officially taken all the other athletes out of the running, and he's got his eyes on the prize.
So Emil Johansson in this 2022 season, where there are 4 Crankworx World Tour slopestyle stops, he just needs one more to grab the Triple Crown for the second time in his career, to make it 2 seasons in a row. But Emil Johansson coming back from a broken hand, knowing that he just needs to keep focused on the task at hand, and he can still do it. Win Red Bull Joyride for the second time in his career and make it 8 in a row. Well, let's just savor this.
Yeah, the glory run, the unspoken best feeling in the sport, when you have won the contest and you get to just be you and say thanks to the crowd, thanks for everyone that helped get you there, and just have a fun run in the moment. Let's watch.
Right now, from the absolute slopestyle boss.
Wow. You think about it, this is the only rider to repeat a Joyride win other than Brandon Semenuk. So following in the footsteps of the great.
Huge knack air. Slider just loving it, letting it all come out right now.
Bingo, there it is. It is official.
The streak is alive.
Johansson makes it 8 wins in a row. His second Red Bull Joyride win. Oh my God, he finally gets to breathe. So much work going into not only having the tricks dialed, but rehabbing an injury, coming back in freakish timing to keep the streak alive. You know, if he didn't compete in this event, it would have still kept his streak alive, but he loves this so much. He loves the challenge that each course brings. And the riders he gets to experience this with, riders who are pushing him to his limit, and he is uplifting their level at the same time. Cool to see.
I love this camaraderie, seeing the top 5, even the top 10 coming down and congratulating the guy that they haven't been able to beat for 8 contests in a row. These riders come around sometimes, and it's like when they win, the sport wins, because they're so positive, they're so good, there's not a scratch on their history. It's just so cool to see it all happen and people be that stoked for him to win.
Yeah, you know, it shows what kind of guy he is, what kind of competitor he is, the fact that the fans still enjoy watching him accomplish his goals, and you know, the other riders are like, right on, man, you did your thing. We tried to do ours, but you were the best on the day. I don't think anybody's bummed on this guy, especially coming back from that broken hand. Here's the winning run, run number 1.
180 into the half step bar spin.
And this is where things got really technical, this 360 opposite double tail. So the tail and the 360 are not his natural way. Straight into the windshield wiper. Keeping it going with triple and quadruple combos from top to bottom. Throwing in that style that we know and love him for so much. Double downside whip off the cannon log.
The way he gets his body out of the way there. How about this?
And from what we know of, this was possibly a first.
right, Emil, I'll kick things off just by first and foremost congratulating you on 8 in a row and your second Red Bull Joyride win. But I got to ask you about practice. What was practice like, knowing that, you know, the first time you hopped on your bike in the parking lot, it was the first time you'd ridden since breaking your hand. Walk me through the week.
Yeah, I've, as far from ideal as possible, I would say this week, or the process leading up to this week has been, but nevertheless, like, no excuses. I made the best out of the situation I was in, and didn't really plan on doing anything else than participating until basically it was Saturday. My hand wouldn't function, and I was fortunate enough that my hand was up to the test, and I was able to perform on this given day, and yeah, it feels good.
It feels good just to watch, and you know, you feel the energy from the crowd. This crowd is unlike any other crowd in our sport. What's it like to perform in front of these people, screaming your name?
It's unmatched, and I love you, Whistler.
Well, Whistler loves you right back. Every slopestyle mountain bike fan loves you, Emil Johansson. Thank you for the show, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Come on, Alan Cook.
8 in
what
a
do you
row.
think?
Man, what a night. All of these riders brought their best. It was so exciting from beginning to end. And what happened in the end? Emil Johansson was able to keep that streak alive, the Ocho.
This pack of 4 right here in the top, FEDKO, Lemoine, Bringer, Johansson, are just ridiculous. Lucas Huppert down there in 5th place, one of the youngest guys in the competition field, and he just keeps on getting better. Nicholi ROGATKIN, unfortunately, issues in both runs. Thomas GENON an issue as well, but you know what that says about Joyride is anybody who made it on there appreciates the opportunity, and they're willing to put everything on the line to do the best run within their abilities, put on a show for this crowd, and, you know, stay on tour, make it to the next few stops. We got 2 more stops on the Crankworx Slopestyle World Championship Tour this year. We're going to Cairns, Australia, and then we will finish off the tour somewhere we've never done it before. We're gonna go down to New Zealand for the finals. We've gone there for the past few years as the kickoff, so it'll be great to crown the champs down there in November. But we'll take a minute to absorb all the action we just saw. Ridiculous victory lap from Emil Johansson. We'll be back with you shortly to crunch the fine details. Don't go away.
Pump up your tires for the bike content on Red Bull TV. And check out the best live events, feature films, and shows. Download the Red Bull TV app for free. And sign in to watch all of our content offline. Download the app now.
Now what did I do, boy? Roll like a man.
In the 1990s, Jimmy Levan, pioneer, daredevil, and BMX rockstar, bridged the gap between rebellion and progression. A reckless innovator who made BMX history.
Jimmy's life would have killed anyone else that wasn't a BMXer like 1,000 times over.
Yep. Go Fast Pull Up, the Jimmy Levan story. Now available on Red Bull TV.
Victory is round the corner. New stops and the rebirth of stadium circuits. The Drift Daredevils are back at full throttle, facing the biggest season ever. Drift Masters European Championship 2022, live on Red Bull TV.
Welcome back to Whistler, BC, as the dust settles on an absolutely ridiculous Red Bull Joyride 2022. The crowd is migrating off the Boneyard slopestyle course. I'm sure they're just as exhausted as the riders out there. The amount of noise they're making, the hooting, the hollering, the jumping up and down, and the village is going to be pretty crazy tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. After an exciting event like that, it's gonna be full on. I think the fans are gonna be out there mixing it up with these guys that we just watched. It's going to be a party, that's a guarantee.
It's so crazy, man, to think that, you know, slopestyle was an experiment on this very hill in 2003 when Patty Kay got a crazy idea to do something similar to what skiing and snowboarding do with a slopestyle competition. Gets a little bit crazier every year. Fine-tuning the course, bringing in new riders with new approaches, and now, you know, the riders who are out there winning were just born when this sport kind of was born here on this very hill. And I don't know, I just trip out because I'm sitting here next to a guy who I used to watch BMX contests and, you know, thinking, wow, maybe if mountain biking could be that cool someday. And I feel like we're there. We got Dawid GODZIEK out there, the guy who just won BMX X Games gold. And we got an athlete by the name of Emil Johansson, who I think, I don't know, give me your opinion on this. I think he stacks up with all the greats from, you know, choose your sport. At this point, hasn't lost since he started winning, 8 wins in a row. Like, he's on pace to be respected from all different areas of sport in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, names like Roger Federer, Ryan Nyquist, Jeremy McGrath, I mean, you can put those names to the sports, but it's not something that happens at this level this very often, you know. It's really a special thing what he's got going.
There we go.
I was talking to our Crankworx Dr. Ewan. He's been pretty much full-time helping Emil out since that broken hand, getting him back to tip-top shape, or as close to it as possible to be able to do this. And it's crazy, you know what he said is like, you know, a lot of mainstream sports have teams behind them and, you know, people helping with every aspect, whether that be doctors for, you know, the physical ailments that can exist, or sports psychologists to help with just the turmoil involved with not only dealing with pressure, with, you know, trying to win this many times in a row, but coming back from injury. And, you know, these individual sports like slopestyle mountain biking, where you don't necessarily have a team behind you, it takes so much more mental fortitude to be able to get on a streak like this. Now, no big surprise here. Slopestyle World Championship standings, just a flawless 2,000 points on the season for Emil Johansson.
Yeah, absolutely dominating, isn't he?
You know what's crazy, though, is Tim Bringer, you know, he obviously hasn't won a competition, but he's only 300 points down.
Yeah, that's still close up top, but man, Emil's not going to be an easy one to bring down, is he?
All right, well, it's time to give away some hardware now. Let's listen in as we give away the bronze, the silver, and the gold.
Red Bull Joyride 2022 delivered everything we hoped it would, and we are ready with the 3 men who are going to stand on the podium, taking the bronze, and with arguably the send of the day. Whistler, give it up for Tomas Lemoine!
I can't wait to hear if the crowd is louder for Lemoine or Emil.
Yeah, I think Emil might have taken the win, but I think Lemoine might be walking out with the hearts of the fans here.
The people's champ right there. When you do something that impressive and outside the box, I love it.
A well-deserved bronze medal for Tomas Lemoine right there.
Your silver medalist today, perfection out on the Red Bull Joyride course. Give it up for Tim Bringer! And we got one more spot on the podium, making it a nice round number 8. Crankworx slopestyle wins in a row. Emil Johansson!
As easy as that might have looked, you can tell Emil's a bit relieved. Hands on his head, he's enjoying this, soaking it up.
Ridiculous. I mean, he's still got a long season to go, but he gets to take a breather now. I mean, just about 6 days ago, he wasn't sure if he could ride, and now he's thinking, okay, cool, well, I got District Ride next, then I have Proving Grounds, and then I got Cairns, and then I got Rotorua.
That shows the mental strength that Emil has developed over the years with a lot of the adversities that he had early in his career. what made him the toughest competitor out here today?
Oh, you gotta be right. I mean, what he went through with autoimmune disease, he's pushed through so much. So a broken hand a month before the big event of the year, you know, he's like, I can do this. If there's a will, there's a way. And what he said in that interview was no excuses. This is not a guy looking for any excuses. Here we go.
The celebration in champagne spray. The ultimate goal for all of these riders out here. Look at them soaking it up.
From the true superheroes of slopestyle, Whistler.
The smell of victory right there, BO and champagne.
Once again.
These guys woke up this morning visualizing this moment. Now it's happening.
And Whistler just getting word that with this podium finish, Tomas Lemoine has moved into the top spot in the King of Crankworx ranking. First time we've had a...
So good. Tomas Lemoine, I'll give you a little insight here.
It's the first time we've had a slopestyle rider leading
World Tour.
the
We've got
King of Crankworx
overall.
Only 2 stops in to this Crankworx World Tour this year.
You get points from all the different events. He competes in pump track, speed and style, and slope style. He's leading the King of Crankworx overall now at the halfway point of the season. And like you heard Derek Foos say down there, it's the first time we've had a slope style competitor leading King of Crankworx. There's so many more events for the racers. And, you know, you saw those pump track skills as he was getting speed to gap that final feature. He competes in pump track. He has been for years. He won the speed and style just 2 nights ago. It's pretty cool to see him go in the lead.
Yeah, I'm not trying to argue, but I don't know if I would call Lemoine a slopestyle rider. He's a rider.
He's just, you
can see how much he loves it.
Yeah.
He is a rider.
He's somebody we're going to be looking forward to not only on the rest of the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour, but the rest of the other events we have still coming up throughout the year. And, you know, this year is far from over, but we already have some news for next year. The Crankworx Whistler dates July 21st through the 30th. If you were watching from home on your couch and you want to feel the rumble of the crowd, I invite you. Come on. You are formally invited to come on out here and experience Crankworx Whistler 2023. But Crankworx Whistler 2022 is far from over. We still have downhill racing tomorrow. The Canadian Open DH presented by RockShox is coming your way. It's going to be a great race. We got some of the fastest racers in the world. We got great coverage on the course, so expect to be able to see more of the course than you've ever seen before, and it's going to be a doozy. We'll see if Tomas Lemoine can still be at the top of the King of the Crankworx overall standings after downhill tomorrow. Well, we've gotten to that point in the show here, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Tyler McCall, our Judge Insider, our analyst Alan Cook, I've been your host, Cam McCall. Thank you to the Crankworx staff, the Boombox production staff for bringing us this ever exciting broadcast of Joyride 2022. We'll see you tomorrow for downhill.